Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rift's Gunmetal Soul for episode 11, Punk Rock Girl. Thank you for joining us. Our group has been... What are you doing? Stop trying to lick people. There's... Anyway, the group has been in Philadelphia seeking the Franklin Keys, with Carrie Neville, a bird lady, techno wizard. Anyway, let's go around and introduce our characters with your super quick introductions, starting with Hayden.
Hello, I am Ryo, pronouns he, they. I play Hayden Delgado, pronouns he, they. He's not entirely all there. Literally. He's a skeleton. Moving on.
All right. And Sasir.
Hi, I'm Dara. I'll be playing Sasir this evening. She's half raccoon, half lady, and all French sass.
All right. And next up is Adelaide.
My name is Fox. I'll be playing the Cyber Knight Adelaide today, and I am not trying to lick anyone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Rainier.
What? Hi, I'm Riley. I play Rainier, the Fae Psy Warrior, and I might try to lick someone? I'm not sure.
Probably not on screen, but anyway.
Someone has to.
Implied licking.
Made it worse. All right.
Licking with a fade to black.
Last time, previously, the group was in Philadelphia. They are in the South Street area near the Magic Gardens, where they are staying at what used to be a place called the Condom Kingdom, as a hotel. They were told not to be outside after midnight. But then something got shot out of the sky above the territory they were in, and it crashed in a right alleyway, and they ran out into the street to go investigate, which caused a flood of gremlins, which were tearing apart the machine that had fallen from the sky, to turn against them and start to, fight them. And more gremlins kept showing up. They dragged the object back inside and got inside along with the sheriff, a zapper who had shown up as well, to help quell the disturbance in the gremlin lines. There are the power lines that are weaving throughout the city that appear to contain the gremlins. Let's see. Yes, you had stopped at a bar, you'd gotten some tips on who to talk to next, and yeah, I think that's you had pulled the thing inside and seen that it was in fact a military drone, which had all of its markings.
Pulling it inside when people pulled up in a van and were like,
"Oh, it wasn't a van; it was an ATV
or an ATV
with a Faraday cage around it."
Yeah.
An ATV with a Faraday cage basically is a van and riffs. Come on, man. Come on now.
But even though it had no markings, the gremlins had apparently broken it apart so much that you found some writing inside, and it was all in French.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Looks at writing. Does anyone here speak German? I can't read it.
That's it. Anyway, what does this say?
Inside, it's basically the warnings about which wires not to cross. If it's the things that are printed on the inside of military gear to indicate, hey, stupid, you manufacture 15 of these a day. Do not put your fingers here while firing.
Not a step.
Not a step. The and exhaust ports with arrows pointing at them. And inside it says connect red wiring to red box, which I don't know enough French to translate except for the word rouge.
That's good enough for me. I took 6 years of Spanish. Anyway. So all that writing is still there. It doesn't look, is it like handwritten or is it like printed out
It
on
is
a label?
like it is stenciled on the inside, like parts of it's stenciled or stickered,
Hmm.
as though this is a military drone.
Does it look like the gremlins like really like ripped it apart and destroyed it? And or
It looks. Give me some kind of science or study. Give me a
I have
science.
repair and I have hacking.
Give me the repair.
I think the French word for connect is just connecter.
Probably. All right, you got a 7
Le Connect.
on your repair roll. You can't repair this thing. They definitely ate the hard drive.
Mm.
And parts of it, you do see there is a small explosive in there that was supposed to trigger. And, when a military equipment gets downed, it generally incinerates itself so as not to be recoverable. The gremlins fucked that up, so that didn't happen. But they definitely there are literal bite marks in the disc. There's tears and scrapes and scratches all along it. There's electrical scorching on it. Does anyone have any science type skills? No? Okay.
Nah, homie.
You do have someone with you who does, and she goes, "That looks like a plasma burn," says Carrie for the first time in an episode since she didn't exist last episode.
Did she?
Jesus.
Is that because she didn't come with us?
No, I thought she came with you because she wants to help, but
Oh, okay.
there, I forgot to include her in anything last episode. Or is she staying with the bus? It's up to you.
I'm not sure anymore. I've lost track of space time. So
I think the major difference is I'm either going to try to scavenge this or I'm going to try to scavenge it, and the science person is going to go, "Don't touch that!" And like, that would be the main difference.
Okay.
Because I would like to try to like scavenge it so I can use it for MacGyvering at some point.
All right. Go ahead and roll me another repair roll to try to get parts for +1 parts.
5.
All right. Using right somewhere that you have FQ drone bits.
Huge drone bits. Okay.
Oh, buddy, FQ.
FQ in this case stands for Free Quebec. It's
Where the French come from.
Okay. Does this?
You have seen drones like this.
Am I concerned about this drone being here? Is this odd to me?
Probably.
It's all the way out
yes.
in it's like in Jersey,
like-
PA area. Like, oh no.
I guess maybe a better question is like, are you used to seeing Free Quebec fly drones outside of their own territory at all? Like, has that ever happened before?
I mean, it happens, but it is not something like the Free Quebec is not an expansionist army like doing recon all over the place.
Okay.
If this all right, none of you, well, Adelaide, you dealt with the coalition enough.
I have.
You don't have the battle skill, do you?
I have it at a D4.
All right, give me that D4.
Sure.
You got
Shit,
a
I rolled a
9, which is a hit with a raise. So this drone is large enough that you wouldn't like release it from a backpack. A thing like this comes off of some size vehicle, but it is definitely launched from somewhere. It didn't come all the way down from Quebec.
Okay, this thing isn't. Gotcha.
It's not so big it needs a hangar. It's the size of a very large model plane. But it is not the kind of thing that would need 30 feet of runway. It's very advanced, mostly hover jets. And yeah, kind of reflective armor a little bit. It's not like full Glitter Boy armor, but it, you know, since Free Quebec has Glitter Boys, they tend to make all of their equipment chrome looking.
Okay.
And
Um,
you actually you would have dealt with some Free Quebec army military when during the Coalition Tolkien War, Free Quebec became a free state when it disobeyed Coalition orders. The sorcerers at Tolkien then attempted to make allies of Free Quebec, but Free Quebec was like, nah, and turned hard against the sorcerers, thus gaining the coalition's favor and being officially declared a free state.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it was rough. At one point you were being told to expect them as allies, and then it just didn't feel right anytime you had to like see any French Quebecies. Because they just
Hmm.
treated everyone with disdain, but like more so than normal French Quebec disdain.
Okay. So Cecile, you just start tearing into this thing then? Just pulling parts out of it?
There's like that moment where she's kind of looking it over and checking little corners and everything to see what's really salvageable. She does pause for like a moment, looking at it, realizing like where it hails from and that it's familiar. But then she just starts staring into it and taking pieces out.
Okay. As you start to do that, I just blink a few times and then like crouch, like that slow crouch down over your shoulder. Should you be doing that?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, the gremlins ruined quite a bit of it, but I'm able to take some bits out of it for use later. What use I don't know, but I like to figure things out as it comes up. And she just like tears like a piece of it, and as long as I kind of avoid that part, that's the part that goes boom.
Yeah,
She
it's
just-
well, let's. I just like I grab a hand like by the wrist, just very like my this uncharacteristically metallic hand actually kind of comes over. And it's like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to back up to the part where there's an explosive inside this thing.
Cecile's like looking at your hand, and like pokes it like ding ding ding, and then like sniffs it
Hey, no, that's,
for a second.
I'm up here. We're talking. Hand later, bomb now.
Sorry, your end is shiny. So yes, there's a bomb in it because it is military grade. It is set to explode when something like this happens, but the gremlins ruined it, so it won't do that right now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
When
But
people say
I don't
things-
think they're nervous. They don't seem nervous. She looked.
You just
Turns
see
looks
the
like
woman
others.
at the counter is just like on the other side of the room. And then coming in the door is the sheriff, who called the one they called sheriff, Kai Burns, the mind melter,
Oh no.
with his shaggy, unkempt looking hair and his armor.
I think right about the time the sheriff walks in is when Hayden pipes up from the back. So that's not leaking radiation, is it? Because I know that sometimes we had stuff powered by Ghost Rock, and it tended to do that.
In the room, what the hell was that? Or you just decided you didn't like living anymore?
I quite like being alive, actually. Well, I think I did. I quite like being this. It gestures at skeleton.
It's all the bones connected to the correct bones. Yes.
we saw something crash outside. Gremlins were descending upon it. Thought maybe
And?
it might be in our best interest to. And then I just sort of gesture towards Sasir and the drone.
Disarming it to make sure it doesn't do any damage.
You could have left it alone.
Well, we found
Right.
out there was an explosive in it, so maybe it's better we didn't.
Oh yeah, you'd rather have brought the explosive inside than let it explode in an empty alleyway?
Well, the explosive is a recent turn of events. We didn't actually know that was in there until just now, but Cecile is taking care of that situation, isn't she?
Again, if I need any help, Rainier, can you put it on ice, if you will, if I needed you to? Is that a thing you can help with?
No.
No?
Like,
No.
like,
Have you
how about
seen me do that?
holding it with big ice mitts? Is that a thing you can do?
Why would that even help?
That's controlling heat and things. Don't worry about it. I got it. And just you're like, you can help me, right?
If it explodes, I'm gonna put you and it in the same bubble, so...
It's not going to explode. Nobody's going in a bubble.
I don't want to go in the bubble.
I feel like we have more pressing concerns here at hand as I'm like pulling back the hood on the cloak that I've been using to keep the cold out, and it's still like reflexively and without really thinking about it. We see that like much like her hand and upper arm, like there's lines along the underside of her face that kind of trace the outside cheekbones a bit, and then down her neck are just this shiny metal that seems to be like part and parcel with the skin itself. It doesn't really like move around like the skin does, but it's like not as crude as cybernetics. It feels more like it's just a function of her person. That she's now got these metallic lines going down her face and down her chest and neck and everything. Like and like along her forearms, there's these big metal plates now. And it's just kind of like rubs her temples a little bit. It doesn't concern you a little bit that clearly military grade drones, military grade, is that a thing we would say in the apocalypse? That some armies drone, which I gotta tell you, I've seen drones like this before. They're not long range affairs. Somebody came out here to launch this and pointed it this direction. Now, as a sheriff, I should think that that would be more of a concern for you than the antics of a handful of wayward travelers.
I'm not concerned about someone trying to fly a single drone over a city filled with electrical interference. If I were to
Okay.
be concerned about this drone, I'd be concerned about what this drone was following, which would be the 4 new people in my town.
Now, you shouldn't confuse coincidence with a causative relationship. You don't necessarily know. We don't know we've been followed. Like, have we been, for whatever reason, I turned to Rainier. Have we been being followed by a drone?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that they're aware of.
I don't know what you're trying to convince me of here.
I'm trying to convince you that you're coming in here breathing fire and brimstone at us like we did anything wrong, when in fact,
Yeah, you did.
apparently, oh, you probably shouldn't be chewing on that. Because we went outside, we risked ourselves. We didn't risk anybody else. I don't know what you want from me here. Something exploded. I ran towards trouble. I'm not expecting to get paid or for you to be grateful, but I would at least appreciate a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here.
I'm very unclear of what the rules are here.
The rules are you became a pain in my ass.
Okay, that's helpful.
You were warned not to go outside, right? I mean, you went outside, and that's on you. There's no,
Oh.
punishment for that except having gone outside. You came back in and you survived. You didn't cause an explosion in any of the buildings, creating a breach in the walls, right?
I don't think I can do that.
No, I also cannot do that.
We
That's me.
went out the front door in a very big hurry. Not me, as we like smash cut back to.
And then came back in with slightly less haste.
Thought just occurred to me.
Oh.
Above the table, there's an 11-foot tall demon standing outside the door, isn't there?
Actually, he doesn't seem concerned about that.
Oh,
Okay,
no!
cool.
I forgot about the golem. or gargoyle or whatever.
Just wanted to
Gargoyle.
double check about that. Cool.
Okay,
Great.
Do you still need that thing, or can you send it home?
No,
Because
yeah,
I
I can
hate
say
it.
it. No, I can say it at home. That's fine. I was just using it to carry stuff and punch things.
Completely forgot.
Do you mean like you want me to do it like now, or can we finish this conversation and then you want me to do it? Like I'm not sure what the
I'm not sure
expectation
what
is.
conversation there is to have.
Okay, well, great then. And Hayden, just ignoring everybody, walks outside to dismiss the demon because apparently we're done talking and no conclusion has been reached.
And there they go.
You've literally never seen this level of confusion on Rainier's face. Because the rules literally have changed 12 times in this conversation, and they're just kind of like,
Rainier doing the fucking math lady meme, just like
I don't follow what just happened.
That makes two of us. I wouldn't sweat it too hard.
What just
Listen,
happens
so-
is you put yourself in a dangerous situation.
yeah, we're dangerous people. We live dangerous lives. It's dangerous out there. Listen, if you're not going to attack us, arrest us, or charge us with some kind of a crime, or otherwise impede our day, I'm not sure why we're having this conversation.
We're having this conversation because I had to get out of bed.
But we didn't.
Well, I'm sorry someone asked you to do your fucking job.
Why did you get out of bed?
Well, because it was midnight and my psionic senses kept triggering that Adelaide was going to explode.
I'm sorry. Can you tell if someone is going to explode, or is it
Sometimes.
Adelaide particularly?
I think it was Adelaide only because of the resonance of the past.
There's an
But-
Adelaide who is not exploding. Just
But clearly you survived that
Stop it.
because we came in and sealed the line.
great. Hayden says,
So-
emerging back from the door.
Skeleton head.
Great. Sorry, what was that about exploding? I heard a snippet of that. Who was exploding?
Hi.
Apparently
Waves.
Adelaide.
Well, and then a skeletal head does. Well, you don't seem to be exploding.
Alright, get the explosive out of that damn thing. I'm taking the explosive with me.
I assume you're bringing it out of town then. We?
I'll deal with it.
Okay. It's just
You
carefully.
can keep the rest. Just give me the charge.
This is fine. And she very carefully removes the explosive from inside the drone.
Do you hold it up and it starts to levitate slightly and float over near him?
Show off.
Does it say anything on the explosive while it's in the air?
It would have like a probably a part number. Actually, the part number would have been partially scrubbed. You see like someone removed some of the numbers from it. It's got like half a serial code that's been mostly scratched out. Someone did a bad job of completely, refurbishing this thing.
So, to me, does that mean that this is military that was salvaged and is being used by someone else, or is it still could very much be military?
This is definitely military. It was used by military people, though probably not the direct Free Quebec army.
Okay.
Apparently, the French word for explosive is explosive.
Explosive. Good.
All right.
There's a little part of Sis here that's sad that she couldn't take that before he showed up.
Let the
you're
nice
the
man
one that
take his
said there
bomb.
was a bomb.
Now, I'm going home.
No bomb.
Scowls, turns, and walks out the door with the bomb floating near him. You hear the
You're
ATV
welcome.
start up.
Oh. Now that Johnny Law has come by and wasted everyone's time, I don't suppose you found anything of note or of use inside that thing that can tell us who or how or why.
I have parts of it. It's military grade, free Quebec. The warning
Oh.
label is in French.
Yeah, admittedly, I don't exactly know a lot of French-speaking people in this part of the country. We're too far from the border of Free Quebec for that to have gotten here. So, whoever launched this, they're not as far away as Free Quebec. But beyond that, I couldn't tell you what the operational radius of this thing is. I'm more of I make like a bonking on the head motion, like a kind of actually clink clink. Oh, right. At which point I recognize the fact that I'm still made out of metal, and it's like, I should probably turn that off. And all the metal like recedes into my body.
Did you do that on purpose?
This? I guess that is kind of a jerking off motion. My bad. I shouldn't have.
No, not
Very
that. You
rude.
can do that all you want. I don't give a shit. I'm talking about the metal. Yeah.
Oh,
wild.
yeah, no, that's a cyberknife thing. It's whoop, and then I have metal all over my body again. Yeah,
Whoa.
that's the thing we can do. It's
Magnifique. It's just
no, it's not for it's stop it. I'm still
I'm
me.
sorry.
I'm still.
I
You
am
can't-
part raccoon, and you are shiny. I don't know what you want from me.
To not be disassembled. There's just meat underneath. Okay,
I'm
it's
not
just
going to disassemble you.
It's like
I like you too
a
much. to
dermal
disassemble
plating.
You. Okay. I
Focus up. I know your friends have very interesting, strange bodies. This is the second time we've been through this conversation, but we need to focus up a little bit in this particular situation. Free Quebec. Okay. So, not to put too fine a point on this, but you're French. Got any enemies from France?
No. Not
Okay.
from friends.
Well, okay. I was being flip. I'll be more direct. Hi, do you know any drone-laden people who want to kill you because they seem very interested in this place? And as much as I tried to calm down our idiot friend over there with the big fat brain, I don't really believe in coincidences either.
So you're gonna looks at the drone and like looks in her pockets, which she is now filled with pieces of drone, and looks at Hayden and Rainier and goes, "Is anybody following you two?"
I assume that I'm probably being watched on and off.
What? Why?
Just shrugs. Because I'm carrying out a... Is that unusual?
A little bit. It's a little micromanagey, if you ask me.
Honestly, I've lost track at this point. Okay, I mean, it's really less about us being watched and more about specifically this is from somewhere that you've been from. Look, I'm not accusing you of any untowardness or wrongdoing here. It's really just like if there's trouble we should be keeping an eye out for, I would appreciate being forewarned about it.
Aiden, you're not being followed, right?
Swear to God. Yeah, anybody like looked at you, giving you the weird eye recently?
Hayden, who has just now come back, was like, "Sorry, I took the time outside when I was getting rid of the big ugly to go make sure Buttermilk was doing okay. Sorry, am I being followed? Is that the question?"
Oui.
Any weird occurrences of people tracking your movements?
Not that I can think of, and frankly, I don't think if someone was following me, it'd be with one of those. And Hayden just kind of vaguely gestures in the direction of the. I don't know what that is, so you know.
It is an eye in the sky,
Nope.
essentially.
I know what eyes look like, and that's not it.
The mechanical one.
You got to run that by me again.
Okay. You know the little magic picture box that
Yeah,
people
they're
move
like,
on?
yeah, like yay big, give or take. Sure.
Wait, okay, great. So basically, it is what is called a live feed from this up in the sky,
Okay. What
pointing
is
at someone else. So it
what
shows
it-
up in the magic box somewhere else.
okay? What does animal feed have anything to do with this?
Not feed, like
Mm. Mm. So,
Yeah.
what's
Well,
important
that-
here is that we've got this. Listen, your past is your business, and your troubles are certainly your own. Again, I'm not here to recriminate. I'm certainly not here to turn you over to any. And I just like tap the side of the drone with my foot. Any authorities from outside of arm's reach. But if there's anything that you wish to share with the rest of us, hey, we're here. We're happy to help. In the meantime, everybody, just make sure you look up as often as you're looking down and around.
yes,
It's like crouch down next to this thing.
shit, fuck.
Didn't
I'm so good about keeping my disguise on, so it surprises me to see this here.
Didn't you mention there was something outside when we were heading into the oh my god, the library with the robots?
It seemed to be keeping an eye on the library, not me. But
This is a smaller thing than you estimated it, and you didn't see any hint of a chameleon circuit in this drone.
okay, it
Okay.
does not seem to be the same though. It doesn't
Oh,
have the same
alright.
capabilities. This is definitely free Quebec made, and we from where I am from.
Oh.
It could
Well
be out
then.
here for me,
Oh,
but I don't know.
all right. Well,
Well,
Mel's
whatever
gone
it
now.
was. Yeah, whatever it was. As I'm like crouched down now, I'm just sort of like idly sifting through the guts of this thing, just like pushing around the loose bits. Well, whatever it is, if somebody's going to come looking for it, we'll know soon enough. And if not, well, then they know not to come in here looking for whatever they're looking for. And then I'd like to try and do something surreptitiously, game boss.
Sure.
I want to try to pocket a piece of this thing.
There's enough bits around.
She was messy taking this shit apart, so there would definitely be
Yeah,
just
there's
bits
bits.
involved.
If you're not looking for any specific part,
No, just a chunk of this thing.
um,
Something I could palm and throw in a pocket.
give me a thievery with +2.
That's right, thievery's a skill. Shit. Rolling unskilled.
Who has that?
It's not. Well, I'm giving you a +2 to balance
+2.
out the unskilled because there's
Yeah.
so many bits.
I'm gonna burn a Benny. I'm
Okay.
doing it.
There's my. There we go.
Damn it.
Same roll.
Get fucked,
That's the
you.
exact same roll. Get fucked me.
So if anyone, it's kind of
One more
You're not-
time.
super
Okay.
obvious about it. Okay,
All right,
there you
all
go. You
right.
finally got
That's a
it.
4.
Two
There we
bennies
go.
down. What did you do? I put something in my pocket with nobody
Put something
noticing.
in my pocket. Possibly. I don't know if you want to make this an opposed test or not,
That's
but
fair.
I'll stop at
Uh,
a 4.
It was easy enough. No one was specifically watching you.
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm
Hayden
not-
wasn't paying fucking attention.
And Cecile wasn't either. She's kind of elsewhere.
Yeah, Cecir's engaged in the.
Yeah. As
tinkering
far as
bit.
Hayden is concerned, if you want to pick up a piece of this complicated camera doohickey, that's up to you. Like, he doesn't know what half of it does, let alone what any small piece is going to do. So,
Fine.
Yeah,
This was a good use of 2 bennies. What'd I get?
You get part of a laser housing.
Okay.
And it is kind of blackened and charred. Yeah. It's melted a bit,
That's just fine.
which seems a little weird because gremlins don't melt things.
Okay. Just, slip that into a pocket and stand back up. But it's not going to explode, and nothing's going to try to kill us. And it has been a very long day. So I suggest that if everybody can find it in themselves to drain all of the adrenaline out at some point, that we retire. At the very least, I'm going to get some fucking shut-eye.
I don't have adrenaline.
Whatever it is that you have that gets you excited, I don't know. Magic juice.
We already Never mind.
We already what? Rainier?
We already discussed that.
Discuss.
His
Juice?
juices?
Oh. No.
Mm?
This is what I get for not having an NPC on scene still. The woman who was normally behind the desk comes up and goes, "Can you get that out of here?"
No problem. Yes. I just pick it up and start hauling it, just dragging it back outside. Really more just tossing it through the door. We're not supposed to go back outside.
You might want to move that further away if the gremlins come back.
I
Do you want them?
go and take my extendo staff and just shove it out. Like it's shuffleboard, just goodbye.
All right. You shove it clear of the sight of the door. The woman sighs and shuts the door. You all head back to the room for some rest.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry,
And
just laughing.
Yes.
Does anyone? Sorry, I'm like, does anyone have a thing? But I didn't say. Does
Oh.
anyone have a thing? No. So apparently not.
What
No
was
one
the
chimed in
adrenaline?
with
no,
the-
it's okay. I just wasn't sure if that was a "do you have a thing" versus the next morning, but the next morning hadn't come yet, and I wasn't sure what was happening.
It was a weird moment. I was scared.
I laughed nervously for everybody. It's okay.
I wanted to see about the adrenaline thing because Ridder's just like, we already talked about. Wait,
Yeah, like legit as a player, I have no idea what that is in reference to.
The lack of pants meat.
Yeah.
Not
I
fluids.
know.
No, you
But
said,
Sincere wants
what
this
is
to
it that
happen
gets you
again.
excited? And I said, we already
Yeah.
talked about that.
Oh,
Yeah, because Rainier and Hayden had to talk
Listen,
about it.
I'm not the one that normally makes the sex jokes. I'm having a tough time here.
Look, it was 2 steps removed. I had to get there. I was focused on fluids, not on meat. My character goes to bed. She's very tired of this. GM, I go to sleep. I roll to go to sleep. Here
Yeah.
we go.
You
I'm
sleep.
rolling
Yeah.
dice.
Sleep.
Yeah,
Boom! I rolled an 11. I sleep great.
you do sleep soundly.
Fantastic.
So in the morning, by morning I mean afternoon or late morning, is when I assume you all sleep until.
Sure.
Hayden's up and about in the morning, but not doing anything particularly important.
True.
Sincere starts sleeping late, so it's makes sense.
Hayden, as you are milling around the lobby, there is, those things full of brochures for things to do in the area. There's a couple of them made for a place called the Magic Gardens.
Yeah. And Hayden will take one of those brochures back to the room he still theoretically has for a bit, and then start disassembling the gun and cleaning it while looking over these brochures.
Are we sharing because the girls were sharing a room? So they just stick the two in the room together?
Put the skeleton and the question mark together.
I
My
don't know.
gender's a smiley face.
Yeah,
That's
my
all
gender is
that's all
bones,
that's
so
on my
who
sheet.
knows?
Gross.
Yeah, we've got smiley face and non-bonery, so who fucking knows, right? Sure, I'm down for that. Why not?
Okay.
I just imagined it was a big suite with everybody because I didn't describe
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it.
They were the ones that kind of
I
sit
didn't
in the
think
girls'
Condom
room.
King
So
was gonna have a suite. Personally, I thought it was gonna be
Yeah,
like,
they-
here's some
they
tiny
put a-
rooms.
But it's rooms that they knocked down one of the walls of, so
Oh,
now it's
okay,
much bigger.
gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha. It's got room. Got it.
yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
the sun comes up down the street. The night passes. People are out and about when you are all moving around, and you can smell baking happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a couple of people going up and down the street now. Trying to think if you need any more description. People are moving around with carts outside. Someone comes and cleans up the scrap metal and
Convenient.
starts taking it somewhere.
Hmm.
The day is cold but sunny. Yeah, it's cold and sunny, and it's not warm, but that's what cold means. So your plan for the day was to do what? Go and visit the Magic Gardens, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
we had two leads. We had a pair of names, an Isra Lillian and Eleanor Doyle,
Yeah.
that might be able to lead us in the direction of where a key might be if it's here and not in the other place. So, yeah, my plan was to start inquiring with folk about how we find one of those two people.
Oh, they're at the Magic Gardens. They tend the garden. Is very quickly the answer you get. Everyone knows that. That's kind of the garden is a little bit of the scent pulse of things around here.
Okay. Apologies. I thought we were in an area called the Magic Gardens, not that the Magic Gardens was a place inside the place we are currently at. My
Yeah.
misunderstanding.
They have slowly. It's like there is a physical location called the Magic Gardens, but the area around it has slowly been kind of like given that name
Actually,
as well.
everybody keeps pointing us at this place. What the hell is the Magic Gardens? This is the next thing I ask. It's like nobody's
Someone
actually
hands you
said
a
what this
pamphlet.
thing is.
Someone hands you
Aiden
a
waves
pamphlet.
a brochure.
The Magic Gardens is a pre-cataclysm art installation / museum that
Oh.
is big on tile mosaic. A lot of colored glass shards reflecting light in interesting ways. And you look at there's a couple of pictures in it. The entire outside of the thing has like a bit of a. It looks like it's kind of a thick masonry wall with like glass shards inlaid in it that have been put in patterns of different things, many of which look at the bottom, which seems to be a flower garden, including the tulips and a couple other, different kinds of flowers that you've seen repeated in the art around here.
Okay.
Um,
And then
it also talks about the weekly salon that they hold for discussions, art inspiration, and seasonal worship, as well as live music at all as often as anyone's willing to perform it.
then unless anybody has anything else to do, I imagine in the movie version of this, it's the like POV shot of holding up the brochure with the picture of the exterior of that place, and then you pull it down, and we see that that's the location we're at.
Yeah. It's only a couple blocks down. You get there and it is well lit. You see people milling around actually. You can hear the sound of at least two different music performances happening. It looked like if this was like one or two buildings that have been slowly expanded outwards. So it's taking up almost an entire block at this point. Maybe it's spreading kind of into the block behind it as well, further in. You hear the sound of someone playing something that can be kind of classified as a weird saxophone, and another person playing what is essentially an Incubus song on acoustic guitar closer to the front of the place. You see people coming in with like canvases. Like there is one or two people carrying those classic art the big black briefcase that has, the artist briefcase, which is the flat ass size of a person with a handle. Folio, that's it, like a folio, portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the word, portfolio. And people are bringing in food as well. It seems like this might be the center of like daytime activity here. There are some kids milling about as well. And this place gives off a feeling of spring magic. This is definitely a place of strong fey magic. There doesn't seem to be anyone like too alert and guarding it that you can see. There are a number of like glass statues, and you can see what look to be some kind of well-posed statues made of sheets of metal around the front as well, in the same kind of mosaic style where they will take multiple sheets of metal, match them up to build an arm. And like each finger is a different kind of metal. There's about 3 of those around the front of the block. The street out here has been very well cleaned and isn't paved so much as it has been tiled. One of the tiles says Toynbee was here. It's a thing. Toynbee tiles. Anyway. The building gives off a positive, like, just looking at it is a kind of stirs your mind a bit. There's a feeling of vibrancy here, even in the middle of winter. The place is, I want to say the place is alive, but I don't mean that it's going to stand up and fight crime. I mean in the fact that it has people milling about and has, like, people doing things. This is the most people you've seen in one place since you've been in the city. And there's only about maybe 50 people in the complex at the moment, but people are doing things here. You come into the opening gardens, and there's a large tile path that swings around in a pattern. There's some bushes that are, what's the opposite? Evergreens? Yeah, evergreen bushes that don't, like, fade out. Actually, they would be deciduous bushes. Anyone who knows nature well enough knows that those bushes do occasionally lose their leaves, but these have not. In fact, some of them seem to be flowering. The whole place has a vibrancy to it, and as you come in, you see a Asian woman with her hair in like pigtails, and she's wearing a leather jacket and overalls. I don't know if you know what is her name? Michelle Zarna from Japanese Breakfast, the band. It looks like her. She goes, "Oh, hey, you must be the new people in town that people are talking about."
Guilty as charged. That's us.
Come on in if you're as long as you don't mean any harm.
Wouldn't dream of it. This place
Makes
seems
eye
nice.
contact. Makes eye contact with Rainier and goes, "You're welcome here."
Thank you.
So
Cool. Oh, there you go.
there's a green curtain that you walk through, and then you come out the other side. Into the
Good
into the
roleplay,
middle
Fox.
of the building. Your camera went green on us for a second, Fox.
Oh,
It was interesting.
Just fully green.
Yeah.
I'm getting into the spirit. I have no. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. That's weird.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go.
I'm no longer green.
So, she comes in this place and says, come on in. This is kind of my place. I'm Lily. Nice to meet you. Come on through.
Oh, Dave. Yeah, perfect. Hi, Adelaide. You're
Hi.
actually one of the. We've been looking for you. Nothing
Oh.
nefarious, but
You You wouldn't be the first people to hear about this place and think it's the most interesting thing in the world.
Boy, is it like looks around ever. Hey, so my
Oh,
friends and I,
everything verges on tacky.
yeah. It's a very like side eye to the everything looking around and then smiles back to the person I'm talking to. Uh, uh, you clearly are an aficionado of various kinds of art, and my compatriots and I are on a little teensy bit of a kind of a quest. We're trying to find something very specific that I'm hoping has found its way to your wonderful collection of arts here.
Mhm.
You don't happen to deal in keys by any chance?
We have all kinds of musical keys. No?
Okay, not
Okay. That's clearly not what you're looking for, is you weren't looking for a pun. So I don't know what you mean, like people who make keys, people who have made
no.
art of keys?
Did we a quick question to the rest of the party. Did we actually take that one Franklin key that we found? We have that on us
Yeah.
still, I presume.
I believe so. I don't know who has it, but it's not Hayden.
It would be Hayden. Most likely, we'll say Carrie is here and she has it. She goes, oh,
Boom.
here, this. I've been
Oh.
holding on to it.
Hi, hello. There you are. Jeez. Yes, perfect. Okay. So, we're this
She
actually
goes,
we're
oh, I
looking
love your
for
plumage. And then Carrie turns just a little red. Because Carrie has bird feather hair. Anyway.
It's good work now, flirt later. So this thing's got some mates that we're looking for. We're trying to find a match for it, and we're hoping maybe it had found its way here.
You need a spell cast?
Looks at Kari. Do we need a spell cast?
She goes, I don't know that spell, if that's a spell.
We don't know that spells, but we are looking for the other one of these. It's a collection thing. We're just trying to find all three of them because my friend here is way into specialty keys. I put an arm around
It was
Gary.
cool. We have a whole drawer if you'd like to look through them.
That would
And
be
by
delightful.
drawer, I mean kind of a chest because they're not hard to find anymore.
Chests are good. Chests are big. Love a big chest.
But I don't think we've got anything like this here.
Ah.
Well, I'm looking at anything like that here. But if you want me to cast a spell, I've got some decent range. If you're looking for in the lower half of the city, might be a bit of a stretch. There'll have to be some payment involved.
Oh, you mean like you can scry on this for its companion key?
Yes. I don't know how to explain magic to people, except I just do it and it's wonderful and beautiful.
Huh. So again, like looks at
No,
the
I
rest
get
of the
I get
group.
that. That makes sense. No, I can see that.
So you just are looking for more of this key?
Yeah, that's it. That's all we're here to do. That's our raison d'etre.
Okay. And are you officially asking me to cast the spell, or do you want to look in the big jangle of keys, which in the meantime?
I I grab Cecile. I'm sure that we would love to go digging around in your keys.
Oh, and now who's flirting? She says. And she beckons you into another room where you see a large, basically, warehouse has been cleared out and just different booths where people are doing different kind of art. Someone's using a chainsaw to kind of carve a sculpture out of MDC concrete. Someone else just straight up has a marble that they are slowly crafting with their bare hands, just like scraping off little bits of it at a time. And then there's a sign in part of the room that says raw materials, and there is a chest that says scrap metal where you see bits of the drone from last night, and another chest that says smaller bits of metal. And she goes, in the smaller bits of metal there should be a whole chest of keys. And if you would like to use anything or craft anything, we just ask that you offer something in return. or make something with the materials and leave it here.
Well, I'm not much of an artist, but I'm sure any of my companions.
I'll have to get Eleanor if I'm gonna have to do a spell that big. So she's a lot grumpier than me.
Okay. Should we be concerned about that? Do we need to?
No, she's just an old cat.
Don't
She's
know
an
if you're
old
being
cat
figurative or
lady.
not. Still don't know if you're being figurative or not.
Don't worry about it.
I will not worry about it.
No need to be judgy. So,
I
if you're gonna
wouldn't
pay us
think
for
of
the
it.
spell, what are you offering in exchange?
Sis, you're staring at Rainier right now.
Rainier, everything here is thawing. It feels like things have thawed here. This whole place feels like it is springish. This isn't the summer court so
Mhm.
much as it is part of the summer court, but it's on the outer edges of it, being the spring side of the other court.
So if you look at Rainier, Rainier looks itchy. Like they're uncomfortable, but for multiple reasons. They might look like even the slightest bit flushed from it being warm and just that. Have you ever just thought about being hot and been uncomfortable, even though you're not actually hot? That's kind of what's going on with them. That, and then they're surrounded by shiny nonsense.
Pretty much.
So it's like
a lot of it's beautiful shiny nonsense,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of shiny nonsense.
Winter Fae brain, unhappy with warm. Magpie brain, there's a lot of crazy shit here, and I want to take it. And it's just kind of like, they
Basically,
do not hear you if you say anything.
Everywhere you look, someone has put art. Something someone thought was interesting to see. So there are like little plaques next to a number of pieces with the names of their sculptors, and a lot of these were made in the last 5 years. There are straight up oil paintings and a number of like watercolors, landscapes, etc. placed all over. And they go, so yes, what are you offering?
Yeah, no. Payment, of course. Spins around and looks at Rainier. I'm sure that there's something we could offer in exchange.
Hayden, who has been standing next to Rainier the whole time watching Rainier do this, has just turns to you when you spin around and goes, "No, we lost Rainier. Somewhere back there in the sculptures, I think."
What?
Just we need to make a fair exchange of goods for a little spell that we're gonna have cast here. You've got the. I'm just like making like surreptitious motions, like you've got the bag with the stuff.
Just kind of looks down at the bag and goes,
The stuff.
I don't have anything worth that.
Surely, I can keep remembering. Surely, hang on. We've got something.
Yeah, just talk among yourselves. I'll be back. Don't. I'm
Yeah,
not.
no.
You sound like you're in a rush.
No. We'll be fine here. We'll be. You do
Would
whatever
you like
you need
any?
to do.
Would you like any clean, pure water? We've got a filtration system that a techno wizard installed once. It is free and clear.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
I'll be over with the box of keys. Hayden, who cannot drink water, wanders in the direction of the box of keys.
You
Cecile here's like clean water.
Yeah.
And has removed the tube like from her mask and has like pulled it out and like is just
Oh.
holding the one end. But she also looks a little different than normal.
Oh,
She's more bundled up than usual, and
no.
her tail is actually tucked into her pants.
It's
Which she
starting to
doesn't
get
normally
kind
do.
of. This place is springish, and you are
Yep.
wearing the wrong coat. It's not that bad yet, but a whole day of this will
Yep.
make you uncomfortable.
Also, all of her clothes are inside out. But the inside of her clothes, they're double-sided. So usually she has teal, and her bandana is red, and she has gray and silver. But now she has more, like, purple instead, and her bandana is blue. So she's essentially like reversed all her shit and has taken more care to like hide herself than usual. But she's still standing there with like a little tube from her mask. And just like, I would like water.
Oh, cool. I'll have Henry get you some. She moves over one of the sculptors who goes, cool. He looks like Matt Balmer. I don't know if that's what I'm thinking of. In a white like t-shirt.
All right, so the guy from White Collar in a white
Yeah,
t-shirt.
the guy from White Collar in a white t-shirt
Gotcha.
who has been doing sculpture all morning.
I got you.
He comes over with a big like beer stein full of fresh water and a plastic pitcher, another plastic pitcher and some mugs, and just puts them down as I built this table. It's gonna be sturdy enough for all of you if you want to just hang out here by the table. I'm sure Lily will be back in a little bit. What brings you to town? Besides keys? Just looking for keys?
Just looking for keys.
No, I see you got the chest. I used them on fingers on a statue once. They're very good in arrow shapes.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I need to talk with my associate here for a moment. We just need to sort out payment on something.
Okay.
If you
Cool.
don't mind.
No,
Thank you.
it's cool. Do you?
Thanks.
If you need anything,
I-
I'll be right over here. Or
I like
Lily will be
your. And then I don't finish that sentence. I just keep awkwardly gesturing towards the thing he was working on.
I know what it's going to be, but I don't have a name for it yet.
I'm sure it's going to be amazing. The name and the thing, both.
Looks you directly with his sky blue eyes and goes, "You don't need the sarcasm." And goes off to it.
Once he's out of earshot, I was being sincere. All right.
It's always funny. People don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get what's going on. Hi, are you still with us? What's going on here?
There's a lot. You want a service from her.
Sure do. Need something to offer in payment, and while I do have some credits to my name and a laser rifle, can't exactly give up anything else. It's not a vow of poverty thing so much as I just don't have a lot of stuff.
I don't think that. Did she mention that it was a big spell?
It matters how big you want the spell. If you want someone to essentially cast locate object over the city,
It's a big spell.
it's a big
And she
spell.
said she needed to go get help, at the very least.
Yeah.
Would you exert a lot of effort for this? And Rainier reaches into the bag and pulls out a sparkly green rubber chicken and squeezes it, and it does that horrible scream from the internet chickens and goes, "Would you?" and squeezes it several more times.
Is this a toy chicken from Moana?
No. So you have. There have been a lot of like memes and whatever with the chickens that like they scream horribly, but they just look like rubber chickens with big open mouths.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you go as you like go to hit it a second time. It's just like my hands on top of your hands, like that. Nope. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Point well made.
You put this
Well
chicken in
made.
your bag.
Yeah, just maybe keep the chicken in your bag.
Yeah, like I mean, if that's any indication of the stuff that Rainier generally keeps in their bag, like I traded it for a plastic compact, and I gave them a bullet, like
I don't know. It was worth a try. All right, so then
And Rainier actually kind of clutches a spot inside like their shirt at the mention of the bullet.
That spot just happens to be the same spot where Hayden was originally shot.
fun.
Okay. So the junk drawer is gonna fail us on this one. That's fine. we can work around that. This place is chock-a-block with materials, and we've got some very handy folks. I mean, right? Like, Cecile, you're good at making stuff, and
Are we gonna make the hold on? I think I see where this plan is going. I just want to confirm. Are we gonna make them an art with their stuff for doing something for us?
again, the only other idea I've got here, Hayden, is to give them a gun, and I don't know that they're going to be like super keen on like.
all right.
Here you go. Here's a
Have
gun.
y'all? Wait, hold on. Have y'all never traded service for service before? Hold up.
That's literally
work
what I'm doing
altruistically.
right now.
Okay. Yeah.
What part
Okay.
of night do people not understand?
Most of it, but anyway, the point is like, okay, look, if you can't trade material goods for something, you can offer to do something for someone proportionate to the task that they're doing you. Like, for example, if you needed, someone to dig a ditch to my house so I could get more water from the river, I would go do something, and then I would I don't know, rustle a cow or 6, right? Like that's how you do it. Depending on
Cows?
yeah, for a little bit.
wonder-
Like it was a there was work in the area, so I took it.
No wonder you're dead. Okay, great. This is
No, I think that was beforehand. No, I did that as a normal person.
that was.
Have you
just-
never found a cow? You just gotta stay clear. It's
Cows are
real easy.
different in the future. Listen, it was a joke. All right, moving forward.
All right,
Okay, great.
cool,
So
great.
We'll just.
You just do people favors. That's kind of your whole existence, isn't it?
Oh, they're not favors. Favors are like a thing you call in. I just do good. I just do good things for people. People are like, help, help, there's a bear with a bear for a mouth. And I go, yeah, I can kill the bear with a bear for a mouth. It's fine.
Rainier
You've
just
seen a bear with a
aggressively
bear for a
shrugs.
mouth?
Like, I
So
just
do
jab
a good for the help?
I just jab a finger at Hayden. You're a skeleton. No, I'm not saying I'm not familiar with the concept of like work for work. We can make this work. I'm agreeing with you. My point is that great. She comes back. We can offer our services. We are very servicey people. This is fantastic.
I mean, we are here. We kind of started as mercenaries here. I don't know if they will want that type of work, and they definitely, I don't think, feel like the types that want the work that I can do. My services may not be wanted here.
Yes,
Build
but
stuff.
yeah.
And they
Yeah,
can't-
my daytime services. Yeah, that is fair.
Also, it can't hurt to ask. We'll just find out.
Yeah. Worst
This-
comes to worst, someone that they don't like has been making moves on the area for turf or whatever. That's a thing people do.
art turf.
Freshwater filtration turf.
Hey,
Oh,
and
I
you know
thought
what?
You were gonna
Maybe-
say that it would. That. Never mind.
All right.
Won't let it enter my mind in the first place. Listen, so maybe it'll all come for naught anyway. There's a wonderful bucket just full of keys that has, and like I wrap my arms around Cecile, your name and Hayden and your name written all over it. So why don't you two go and look at the keys for a minute, make sure what we're looking for isn't in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the wizard scientist for a minute about something, okay?
Oh,
And,
yes. Sorry. I'm over.
Rainier, try not to have a heart attack.
When you turn to Rainier, their hand is outstretched, and there is a slightly dented bell from like a hotel counter on it,
Okay.
and they just tap the thing as you turn around and go,
Oh,
is it just things that make noise? Do you not like the noise? Ding!
it's just
Does it?
no.
In the distance, you hear the same tone echoed on the saxophone-like object, in the same note.
Rainier just looks and wanders in that direction.
Okay, perfect. That's good. That's great.
I'm just picturing
That was
this
number
like
19.
tall pale ass fay with a bell. Just ding.
It's like echolocation. You ding, somebody else dings, you go that way. We're done.
That's how bird call works, right?
This
But
wasn't how I was trying to
Kari,
get there,
there's-
but
what do you need?
Perfect. We're alone. Exactly. Okay. And I very rapidly produce a small blackened, charred, and misaligned chunk of a laser housing. And like
Oh.
into her hands.
Oh,
Hi. I kinda need you to psychometry this thing.
I do think that is within my abilities. It's not strong for me.
I know, but even just like the vaguest hint of what this thing is, why it's looking,
Oh, it's a lid
who sent it,
that's been plasma burned.
he super has. Yeah, pulled it out of the drone from last night.
Oh yes, you
I
told me
forgot
about
that's
that.
a
I
thing
slept
tech
through that.
wizards can do.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
it's a thing I could do someday, but not yet.
Yeah, it's been high energy plasma burned. Um, Probably some kind of small cannon hit it.
It could be an even number of things. Listen, it came in last night. There was a flash. It fell out of the sky. It's entirely possible somebody shot it, or that a gremlin decided it's present. Less interested in it's past as far back as you can go on this thing. Maybe not quite that far, but like to its assembly, something in there. If you can give me anything at all about who or what or how,
Okay,
why
this is
this
part of a large series, a long-running production line. This one was sold off to private. There's a bald man involved,
old man. Okay,
and then there's no one next to him. And then there's some bad scratching, and then
scratching.
it's in the sky, and then it is panicking. This thing is panicking and confused, and plasma burns, and then it hits the ground. As much as any circuit can panic, it's trying to fire all of its um processes
No,
at
sure,
once.
sure. Okay,
It's scrambled. It's scrambled.
scrambled. All right, so it was bought by a bald guy who's very lonely.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, that was should have been a question mark on the end of that sentence. Like that's all you got?
Yes, these things don't work clearly.
No, thanks. I had to give it a try. And I take it and I just like half-heartedly like toss it into a nearby pile of stuff.
I just pictured
All right.
all of the artists descending upon it, like the seagulls from Finding Nemo, just being like, mine, mine, mine. There's just new
A
shit
couple of
in
the
the
younger
pile.
artists do, yeah.
I'm fine.
Thanks, Neville. It was worth a shot. It was a long shot, but it was worth a shot.
Yeah, it's an inexact science, but they said they don't have a key like this.
I sent them off over there so that I could get a moment with you to speak in private because I wanted you to look at this thing so that maybe you could tell me something that potentially one of our companions is keeping from me. And she probably has a good reason to be doing so. And the fact that I just use a gendered pronoun makes it immediately clear exactly who I'm talking about. But the point is,
Right
I
out of
was
the
just
box.
giving them busy work. That's all it was, Curry.
Okay. But you're not giving the Lily busy work. Looking for the key for us.
No, of course not. No.
Do you believe her when she says that they don't have anything like that here?
I don't know that she has any particular reason to lie, but I mean, we're checking just in case. So,
Okay.
like, I feel like you're on to something here, and do you not trust this woman?
No, this place seems very nice. I don't It's a little boring. The magic and the art aren't the same thing in this place. I don't understand why the sculptors aren't wiring them to move,
Okay.
but that's a me
Uh-huh.
issue.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Uh,
with this.
However, We had 2 leads. It was here or the university.
Yep.
So we could go there, or we can talk to her and she might know more. Yeah, she seems important in this town.
Are you trying? If you're trying to say that we should leave because you feel like this is either we're barking up the wrong tree or that you feel in danger or something, you can speak plainly. Like
I'm trying to speak plainly. I'm just listing options. Is
yeah, no,
pursue this, but you seemed to be hitting a wall on how to pay for it. Or
no, we're gonna figure out how to pay for this. That's not an issue. I just
okay, I can do great many things with techno wizardry. I could potentially. I
and
haven't
that's what we're gonna
seen
find.
their filter,
And that's
but
what we're gonna find out when she comes back. We're gonna get that all sorted up, cleared out, no problem.
Okay. All right. Well, Lily comes back over, and she is carrying on her arm a woman who is a massive cat, but she isn't like a kill cat from the Coalition bred this to be a thing. She is more like if you've ever seen Kipo and the Wonder Beast, she's more like one of the timber cats sized, where she is like a cat that is roughly 6 feet tall and fluffy, whereas the kill cats the Coalition breeds tend to be, built for combat and live.
We entered Cats the musical territory. Is that where we're at right now?
No, she's bigger and fluffier than that. She's not like. I'm trying to more like a cat teddy bear. Than
Like a wily kid or a
person in
wily cat.
scene. Yeah.
Okay, I think that makes somewhat more sense now.
So this is like a Cats the movie cat, but Hobbit.
No, she's 6 feet tall.
Oh, she's tall.
Proportionally Hobbit sized. She's kind of like thick and larger than life a little bit. I'm having trouble describing this. If the Jim Henson Company designed a cat person basically slightly shorter than what's his name, the Big Muppet.
Big Bird?
No. Well, Big Bird is the Big Muppet. The one that's a person and has the giant mouth.
Nope, that's not going to Google the right
The one
thing.
that runs. God, stuck in my brain. He has a name. Forgotten it.
I need an adult.
He's big and brown.
Snaggle? No.
It is not Snuffleupagus.
What?
What is happening?
Succotash. I'm a Muppet now.
That's
tall.
Fucking
not...
Sweetums?
Sweetums. Yeah, that's the one. I was thinking of Snaggle, like Snaggle.
If Sweetums were a big, fluffy cat person.
Okay.
Sweetums sized and shaped, but with cat face.
Well, this Google search result is going to be wild.
With black fur and just white and gray around her muzzle.
Okay, I think we've sort of kind of got there.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. I'm on point tonight with descriptions.
Clearly. Hey, real quick. Yeah, like everybody kind of split off. I wasn't sure if anybody wanted to do anything when they split off before this, because boy, I've been having a lot of spotlight here, and I want to make sure other people get an opportunity to do things.
Yeah, fair. Hayden is looking for keys that look like computers that look like keys, so he's having about exactly the amount of success you'd think he's going to have. A whole box of keys
here.
Yep, he's just like
trying to help.
Nope.
Just you're looking for something like this, and just trying to explain it, but failing miserably.
Yeah.
There's that big, ridiculous generational gap happening.
Yeah.
It really is.
You've never... Well, did they have keys? They didn't have keys like this back in the day with, the computer, the die-cut keys. So
they did not. You had to make them.
Look insane to you and small. Surprisingly small.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole chest full of keys has literally 1 million keys in it.
Yeah, the keys are normal key size.
Yeah.
Hayden's used to big old honkers with the fucking loop on the end and the 3 teeth.
More like the Franklin key. Yeah. but
Yeah,
you're not
like
finding
the
any of
act.
those here.
Yep.
It takes a
Hidden
while, and you two sort through them. Every now and then, one of the kids comes running up and is like, "It's for art," and grabs one and goes running
Oh.
away.
All right. Yeah. Hayden, I think at some point just goes, when we said we were looking for the Franklin key and someone showed me a picture of the Franklin key, I knew what that looked like. That I get. I do not get this at all. What do these keys go to?
As what, all of these? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's so many keys. What are y'all locking? Like, there's so many of these keys.
could be drawers, lockboxes,
Hmm.
cars from way back when. I don't. It could be many things.
Oh,
At this point.
no, we've touched on a great part. Explain to me how a car works.
Okay, it's just cracked knuckles in her hands. Goes, this I can do, and sits Aiden down.
Gives you the
Just
basics of a
distracted now
combustion
from the
engine.
keys.
Yeah.
And explains cars.
Great.
I don't think they're looking for keys anymore.
Rainier wandered off towards the sound of music.
Yep.
Playing this saxophone-like instrument is a person who with red skin and black horns. It is a robed person, a robed figure whose movements are kind of a little bit mesmerizing as they dance and improvise off the sound of you occasionally hitting the bell. You've seen one of these before. This would be one of the Denor devil men. They are not actually devils. They are just people who happen to be red and have horns. Though occasionally some of them do embrace devilhood and turn evil.
They're not devils until they are.
Until, you've been told you're a devil all your life and you're like, well, fuck it, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they go, oh, hey, I love your sound. That's a nice bell.
It's like, I found it on my way to Castle Refuge.
Oh, where's that? Have I heard of it?
Where is
Have
it?
I heard of where it is? Is it on this plane?
Yes, it's several days, and Rainier kind of stops for a second and goes, or is it weeks, days? I don't even remember. It's been a while.
It'd be at least weeks.
I feel like it's several weeks that way.
Oh, cool. On this plane. I've not heard of it. I haven't been on this plane long. I'm mostly from Center. Though I, got a little hot there, so I came to spend some time in the spring.
I can completely understand not wanting to be somewhere where it's hot.
Oh, no, I came... Okay, yeah. Cool.
Just like, I'm trying to think if I have anything else that makes noise. Hold, please.
Hold, please. Rainier is improvising.
Oh, no.
I mean, everything makes noise.
Anything
Try
makes
been like-
noise.
I'm also not from this plane? Dimension?
Yeah, you have that about you. I get that for you.
You see a lot of people like me around here.
Technically a little like you. I've seen one or two around here, but not in a while. Well, not that I can think of. But I haven't been here too long. I mean, people like you magically, I get the vibe of from people around here, but not like you specifically. I like your vibe. It's very chill in a place like this where everyone could be a little frenetic.
Looks around and be like, I can completely understand why this place is overwhelming.
Part of the joy of it, though. It's a
Got
dark world.
Do you... And then just kind of smiles that weird edge smile and pulls the rubber chicken back out and goes, can you make music from this? And
Hold
squeezes
on.
it.
Hold on, and pulls out a MacBook. Opens the MacBook, attaches a USB microphone, and goes, do that again?
Squeeze.
Samples it, opens up Mixer, and starts, creating
To
a
stress
beat
for the
out of it.
audience, it's something on the order of squeeze, and there's a resultant. Ah!
I saw
Let's
it.
not undersell thee.
Yeah.
Ah!
It
I'm
is a
gonna look
weird
it up.
scream. They start auto-tuning it,
Good.
pitching it, turning it into a beat.
Good.
Let's see how they do. Here's a D10. That's a 7. That's good.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's a little weird. They're like, this
Oh,
needs a
decent.
little more dissonance,
Dubstep chicken.
but I will find that noise another day.
How dare you? How dare you put that into the universe?
What, dubstep chicken?
Enjoy.
I'm like,
Now I have to click on Discord or some shit.
Rainier's
Anyway.
absorbed in this. Just like, so anything I have that makes noise, you can feed into that and make music out of it?
I mean, you don't have to feed it into a system like this, but I can, because I know how to use it, but some people just find shit to make noise. I once heard about a guy who turned a building into a musical instrument. Because, like, you know, pipes will make noise and then rattle in a certain tone, and if you tune them right, you can kind of get a whole performance out of it.
See, that's art I can appreciate. Not that I don't appreciate some of this.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Do you know anything about a magic key?
Musically or
damn it.
metaphysically?
No, like opens a lock.
A magic key could be anything if you're working with a magic user who finds something that they think would make a fun key.
You understand old magic versus new magic?
I understand that this place has a technological magic I haven't seen before. There's something similar with the dwarves in the UWW, but it's not the same. The old magic, if you're doing capital O, capital M, that could mean a couple of different things. But since you're not from around here, I don't know which one you mean. Are you from Palladium? Because that means something a little different on Palladium.
No.
Okay, so you're not talking about the old ones bullshit, and I never really got my head around any of that noise.
Old magic, not
Nature-ish?
as old as the magic where I come from, but old for here.
Old for here. No, I don't know too much Earth magic. What are you looking for?
They want some key that's related to some guy, and honestly, I haven't really been paying much attention.
Well, I don't know how I can help you.
And just like Rainier could sketch out what the key looks like, because they did
Like, oh,
see
cool,
that.
Cool. Yeah.
But like it's been kind of like, yeah, the key is related to Ben Franklin, and then
Oh, Ben Franklin. Yeah, I
like
know a bit about
that's
Franklin.
no, that's what's been happening. It's like they start talking about it, and it's just like they get the first like 10 or words or so, and then just kind of zone out because it's just like this is no longer interesting.
So, if you want to know more about Ben Franklin, you can go to the library. But the library is all about Ben Franklin. Those weird robots.
Oh, we were there. Did you know that they get really excited if you give them porn?
No.
Well, if you ever need anything from the library, and you
I
have one
might
of
actually
these,
go
and
there
just
now
pulls
that I
out
know they have porn.
the Velociraptor, fucking Chuck Tingle. If you have one of these, you could probably get a lot of things.
Okay. Good to know.
I should probably go see what they're doing. Have fun making
What's your
some of
name?
the only art around here, and then just walks away.
Okay, bye.
I have no idea what the dude's name was. There was no exchange of information.
Yeah.
Just
The awkwardest. You come back.
unimportant.
Yeah.
in the back.
Yeah. I don't know if I should apologize or say you're welcome, but I don't know what
Yeah.
just happened.
It was an awkward social exchange. That's all that happened. You walk back in, and the older cat lady is being brought a chair. She has a little cane and is wearing like robes on top of her fur. It is in fact a kind of bathrobe-looking situation with some ceremonial-looking robe put around the collar of it, like a very fancy priest scarf over top of bathrobe.
Both the cat and the cat lady. Amazing.
She goes, "Oh, young ones. Uh, what do you say you're looking for again here?"
The mates to this key, which we were told is a Benjamin Franklin key.
Oh, the robots know all about Benjamin Franklin.
They do, but unfortunately, they really don't know a lot about keys, or at least specifically this key and the matching key that goes with it.
So you want us to find a matching key to that one?
Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. We came here hoping that
Hmm.
we
So-
came here expecting that maybe you knew something and that maybe there'd be a key here, but unfortunately, it turned out that you guys don't really have keys of that caliber in this place. So, since your lovely
reason you
friend,
two-
assistant,
The reason you
whatever.
were looking at these two places was they had both been given endowments by Curtis Charles Lee. Or is it Charles Curtis Lee? I wrote it down so I wouldn't get it wrong, and then out of my brain.
Charles
Good.
Lee.
Charles
Yes.
Lee, yeah. You have not mentioned that to anybody at all.
No, I super haven't.
Yeah. Um,
Is the GM telling me that I should be saying this name out loud more?
I'm saying you know that there was an endowment listed for here, and another place. That's why you came looking here.
And so far, the places with the endowment has been where we have found a key or two.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Hayden has no fucking clue that's happening, but
Yeah. And they're like, well, we could perform a big spell. It's gonna be expensive, child. We're gonna need a favor or something important.
Sorry, my brain's a little fried because I'm sitting here. Like, are we barking up the wrong tree then? Like, am I way off base here? Like, I'm asking out of character to the rest
Yeah.
of the party here because I've been kind of in the driver's seat of these
I mean,
conversations so far,
it
and
sounds like-
anybody is willing to come in and bonk me on the back of the head and take the wheel.
I think a locate spell is never a bad thing to try. I just think that maybe you need to I don't know if old magic was the way to describe it, but if you just go, they said they make replica keys. So if you just go the mate to this one, it's like, oh, there's 600 of them in a pile in that junkyard. That's not the response we want to get. So you might have to give them a little bit more, but I honestly think that, like I said, a locate object type spell is never a wrong tree to bark up. It may not bear fruit, but it's worth looking.
I think we all know at least a little bit that something called the Franklin Network was involved because Hayden was looking at power poles and getting very confused for a hot minute. But I think of that when you start talking about Hayden, who has at this point gotten even more confused as to what a car is, eats, or runs on. I think
Dinosaurs.
probably just exactly. That's the problem. Just kind of meanders and is like, all right, let's table this for a time when we don't have this going on, and like kind of like gets up and starts to wander over. And at the point when you're in this conversation, kind of goes, I think there's something called. Correct, Adelaide. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something called the Franklin Network. These keys go to. Do you remember anything about? I don't know what that means, but that name has been thrown around a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not entirely sure either. We think maybe it's part of a computer network of some point, or maybe some kind of machine network. But it's a bunch of things grouped together that these keys are related to.
You didn't mention that before.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize that it was super important because I thought maybe just finding the keys was really what we're here to do.
Eleanor
But that's
was
what the
like,
keys are for.
just tell them. He goes, we have a node.
What?
Uh-huh.
We have one of the nodes of the network. We don't know what it is or how to use it, and the techno wizard that looked at it didn't find any use or need of it, but it seems very hard to take apart for the people that tried to use it for something, and we just haven't found a use for it, but it says Franklin node. It's a big box.
Is this thing on a ley line out of curiosity? The garden?
The Magic Gardens is actually a ley line, very small nexus. Their magic here is
Oh.
controlled, so it will never open without it being opened.
Gotcha. Interesting.
The magic here has been offered freely to flow, so you can take what is normal amount, but you can imagine the people that control this could restrict that if they felt the need.
Sure. Yeah,
I
'cause I
hold up the
can't.
key and just go, show us.
All right. It's kind of in a weird basement. The steps are gone, but it seems
Oh.
like you're adventurers, so I just jump. And Eleanor goes, I haven't been down there in like 100 years, so. She goes, okay, so this way. She leads you through the building, past some classrooms, past a small library of art books, past a figure drawing class in process, to a closet that says machinery and workspace. Or it says not a machinist workspace. And that has been painted onto it in a very stylized paint because people were like, "Oh, machinery, let me go fuck with that," and then they were like, "No, then our pipes stopped working." So they take you down to this creaky thing. You got to kind of duck under a pipe. There's a big metal staircase going down. It's like this is the one part of the building that isn't beautiful because we don't do stuff down here. So we're afraid to fuck around too much down here. There is a part where the stairs just stop descending and have clearly like rusted away. But you do see at the bottom of a 30-foot drop there is another door that leads into some kind of tunnel. And she
30
goes,
feet, huh?
okay. And just lifts and just kind of like daintily kicks up a little and starts to slowly descend down.
Huh. That's a neat trick.
Thank you. Normally I would dance while doing this, but y'all don't seem in the mood for it.
That's was that rough? Was that 30 feet?
I mean, you could get a rope and some grappling hooks, or
Yeah, like I'm already getting rope out.
Nah, I'm good. Hayden's gonna teleport.
okay, that costs you basically nothing here,
Yeah. Great.
because of who you are.
Yep.
Though when you do that, you see something just out, like halfway through the teleport, you see something just outside of the edge of the Magic Gardens, and it's a little red imp, and it looks at you and goes. But then you end up at the bottom, having teleported.
Yep. Huh. Yeah, there's just it's like a nightcrawler bamf, and it smells like sulfur. Just poof. Huh. What was that?
You can teleport?
Yeah.
He's magic.
can't.
Did you not notice?
Holds up rope and shakes hands. Exasperatedly.
I mean, I can teleport. So, unless you can, I think you still need the rope, right?
All right.
Grumbles and goes and looks for an anchor.
Yeah, you find a solid enough place. How are the other two of you getting down? Also the rope and climbing, or is Sasir gonna jump off random pipes?
Cicero was going to use her extendo staff as kind of like a pole vault to get from place to place.
All right, you bounce around this large, squarish stairwell. Give me an athletics.
Sweet.
And how is Rainier getting down?
There are pipes to like jump, use as like landing points on the way down, or
It's something Sasir can do because of the acrobatic. you could attempt it, but it would be more difficult for you.
Yeah, I don't have acrobatics. I have athletics.
Which I think is the role anyway in this system.
Acrobatics and athletics. You're
Are they
you're
different?
confusing an edge with a skill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
All right, Cecile, you rolled a
I'll
3.
just use the rope. It's
Oh,
fine.
I get.
Oh,
I
but you
have
have massive
acrobat.
bonuses. Yeah. So you
I
get
have
plus-
acrobat, which could be the reroll.
Gotcha. So take a free reroll. You got 11. That's a hit with a raise. You athletically ping around this thing like you were born in this sewer. While the other two of you slide down the long rope and come to a door, and it says, "Do not enter. Property of Cyberworks. Please contact Charles Curtis Key and lists a number." Or Charles Curtis Lee. Yeah.
That's a familiar name, I think.
And
Right.
it is. And a
It's
promising
back-
lead.
It's back here. There's a bunch of big machinery.
Lead the way.
All right. Jimmy's the door, just like the door handle clearly is locked, but just opens the entire door frame. 'Cause time. And goes in, and you see a room that when you enter kind of lights up and looks like a clean server room. There's a little bit of dirt, but otherwise there are white tile on the floor with little bits of grout where, like, if water gets in here, it could go down and into a grating underneath you. The room is very cool. It is a perfect 70 degrees. Or no, it would be kept at a perfect 60 degrees, I think. I'm trying to remember what server rooms are generally kept at. I don't remember.
Kind of depends.
Yeah. But as you enter, machinery starts humming to life. And the computer with green type on a black background opens up and says, "Franklin Node Terminal 3. Network inactive."
I hand the key back to Cecile.
And I think we're going to take a quick break there.
Yee.
Gee.
Key.
All right.
All right. So we're going to take 5 minutes, maybe 10, to freshen up our waters and use facilities and move around because we're people. So we will see you soon.
All right, we'll be right back.
Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rift's Gunmetal Soul. The group has gone to the Magic Gardens and inquired to them about their access to the Franklin Network. Turns out they have an entire node of it here, which was not something the group knew existed. So, Lily has escorted you down here and is showing you this clean room looking place. It's the first thing you've seen this clean in the entire city. Not that it looks like it's never been entered, but it looks like something has come in here and like swept up and kept things neat. Yeah. It's perfectly temperature controlled. It's underground, so there's not a lot of things to interfere with it that might, lightning doesn't hit this place. But you don't know anything about it except there's a black screen with green writing that says Franklin node I forgot my exact verbiage, but basically no connection.
Franklin node number
no
3,
signal.
network offline.
Yeah, network offline.
And I hand our key to our computer expert with a very expectant look in my eye.
Who takes it, holds it, stares at the key, and at Adelaide. It's like, normally when I go into these things, I am not handed the key to get in.
Oh, then this should be easy.
There is a port on this with 3 slots.
Well, let's see how this goes, shall we? Just approaches the computer. An ear kind of just twitches under the bandana. She goes to put the key into the node.
You put the first key. Which key do you have? Yeah, you've got key 2. You put key 2 into the node. And it says, you hear a voice go, "You've inserted key number 2." Meaning you probably found that before key number 1. This voice is just coming from around. It goes, as this is a highly experimental project that I have undergone with no legal involvement from the Cyberworks Corporation. Okay, is that good enough for you? Okay. The theoretical Franklin network, which would currently violate several laws, is not online and will not be put online until necessary and legally able to do so, okay? Okay. It's a thought experiment. Stop looking at the budget.
This man is played by J.K. Simmons, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Okay. It's an Asian man's voice though. I'm trying to think
Even better somehow.
who would Mark Castrano? What's his name? The Iron Chef.
Yeah. Mark Dacascos? Mark Dacascos would do it.
That's
An
it.
older Mark Dacascos? Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
see it. I see it. It's good.
Hello? I say to the room.
Is it the recording, or is it? It must be a recording. Something that triggered when I put the key in. Being how Cecile does stuff back home, is she getting any in between the lines messaging out of what she's hearing? Clearly, is it just sound like someone who has to go through legal jargon out loud to cover his ass?
That sounded like that message needed to be played before anything else could happen.
Okay. So it's the
you
end
do
user
start
license
notice
agreement.
a cursor starts to appear and blink on the screen where there was no cursor before.
Oh.
Thinking. Points.
It then says, "Unable to connect to network. No signal. All diagnostics in progress. Last checked, and it's yesterday. So this place has been running. It tells the exact date in real-world time that it would be. Though this place did go through a temporal shift, so it's off by a bit. Because the entirety of the East Coast hit some temporal storms.
So what, it's showing 22 something?
It would be showing 23
something.
Yeah, 2312-ish. Or 2307, probably. That seems right.
Finally, an actual date. So it's 400, 500 years from what is my past to what is now your future, if we're on the same track.
I mean, strictly speaking, this is our present more than it is our future, but okay.
And it goes, oh, if it's got diagnostic tools, it must have some kind of inputs, yes?
Shrugs in Cybernite.
Just thinking that. I wonder. Maybe I shouldn't mess with it just yet.
No, please, by all means. We've come this far. I know I'm usually telling you not to break things, but
Lily says,
I just
I've never
gesture.
heard it speak before. That is weird. Every now and then I hear something moving around down here, but it's very infrequently.
It is not you who comes down here.
No, we don't come down here.
and you don't know who comes down here?
No one comes down here, but I hear
Well,
movement occasionally.
Something comes down here and it's clearly dusting.
Just to clean. Mm.
I mean, okay.
I could try something to look around inside, but it's kind of made for computers that and security systems. I don't know how well it would work, but I can try. If you're okay with it.
Again, we've come this far.
So sorry, I have to look something up again.
Yep, you're looking up your stuff. Yeah.
So, Cecilia reaches into her pack
Mhm.
and pulls out an OBD reader, the same one that she used to try to hack before.
Yeah.
It's just her modified car computer reader, and tries to figure out a way to attach it to the node to poke around in it.
Give me a notice check. You specifically.
Okay.
Because it'd be hard to. I'm looking for a USB port, and everyone's like, I've never heard of that. Okay, that is a 4. So as you are looking for a place to put it in, you accidentally, when you pulled out the OBR reader, I don't know, the thing, when you
OBD.
pulled out your computer,
Mhm.
you accidentally also had a bunch of loose granola next to it
That
in
sounds
a little plastic baggie,
Uh-huh.
and it spills all over the floor.
Shit.
And a Star Wars mouse droid, literally a Star Wars mouse droid shaped thing, a little compartment opens up, it comes out and starts Roomba-ing. If you look where it came out, there is a dock for it. If you want to attach a computer, that's the one spot you can see to do it.
What the hell?
Okay, hi, hello.
It makes
So she was like, keep that thing busy. And just
I kick it as
almost,
hard as I can.
slinks to the floor.
Do you
and
really?
just-
You kick it, it goes
As
flying
hard
against the
as I
room,
can.
hits the side wall, but does not break. This is built of MDC materials. And has its wheels spinning, and then a little piston jumps out the side of it and pops it back up like a battle bot. It starts driving back over to where the granola was. And Lily goes, oh, I can keep this thing busy for a while, and just reaches her hand out, and just a thin layer of soil appears, kind of lofting from her fingertips. This is some garden magic. This is some garden mancy she's doing. And it follows around the trail of dirt that she's leaving.
Good.
He goes, this thing's kind of cute.
Whatever you're
I do
gonna
like
do.
So
I do
you
like
get
it, but I want that more, and just slinks to the wall where it left
Yeah.
from.
You kind of got to get your arm in there and around to catch the port. This thing has been made as difficult as possible to interfere with. You find the connection, and there's a little bit of a zap as you
Yeah.
have connected to a highly charged system. The way this system is humming, Kari goes, there's a nuclear generator here? Very small, if there is. But this place
There's
has
a
need
what?
kind of power supply. So there's a kind of rock that slowly breaks down into little
Oh,
bits
God.
and shoots out things, and so we take the movement of shooting those things to make electricity.
Yeah, I don't know why you just had to explain Ghost Rock to me, but I get it.
Oh, because we call it uranium.
Oh, gotcha. Why?
Why do you call it ghost rock?
Does it-
Sincere, you have
No,
any
when
luck
you
down
see
there?
why,
annoying.
she goes, let me tell you about the periodic table. And cut back to,
Great. Cecile like kind of pulls her arm back out of the wall and like turns, and the bandana is almost like puffed up as like her hair like is standing out, and one pant leg is now much bigger than the other one.
As it is full of tail.
Yep.
Are
Tail
you
that is
okay?
now out. It's like, I'm awake now. That is for sure. And then just looks at her meter and starts like poking around the computer just to see if she can figure out what it does, its capabilities now, even if
give
it
me
knows where its keys are.
just to recognize what it is for and what it does in its diagnostic specs. You won't be able to alter anything on it. That will just be a straight up hacking roll.
Okay.
Attempting to alter it, you'll come into some problems, but
And she's just poking around. She knows when to like really screw with stuff and when to kind of like just take a look. This is a just take a look because she's like, if I screws this up,
you're not attempting
a
to
big
get
bad.
past the firewall, you're just scanning for open ports.
Yep.
Okay. Or you're not injecting code, you're just scanning ports. So
Yep.
go ahead and roll that hacking roll.
Yeah.
Alright, that is a 9. That's a hit with a raise. This thing isn't a super advanced autonomous computing system with a... I forget the exact verbiage they use, but it is a super advanced intelligence brain system modeled on a living person, modeled roughly on a human brain with synapse interphasic functions where thoughts can sometimes go stray in interesting ways. But this is roughly a quarter of it, if not more. This is slated as piece 2 of question mark. It has in it a GPS circuit, a global positioning circuit that is functional. That's not something you've ever seen before. Because in order to build a GPS, you need satellites.
You need an S.
Yeah. But there are none of those that anyone knows about. It also has chronometric data. It does note that there is a discrepancy in chronometric data and that this is a problem to be addressed when a user brings the system online, as it may cause interphasic it may cause asynchronous download issues. Basically a Steam save that might be off time. And it also has earthquake sensors and stuff like that, for, judging the impact of a earthquake or anything like that.
A seismometer.
Yes, thank you. It says seismometer.
I believe.
It also has a rough diagram of what used to be called, I think, a star network, where it is, instead of an internet where all things go to like a DNS server, a linked ring network, where it is... Oh, that's not a star network. It's been so long since I was in school for any of that. It's machines that connect to each other in serial rather than a central hub. There is no one hub of this network. Each part of this network can act as the lead hub as needed. All of this is covered in a thin layer of click here to agrees that say that this is merely a thought experiment. This network is illegal and cannot be brought online. And it says, click here to agree, and then there's another little box that says, it's slightly off-center as though it was programmed slightly wrong. It's like, okay, back, and slightly off-center is, I had them change this stupid shit. Or I had them change that dumbass law. as if though that was programmed in as an afterthought. Like it's not perfectly lined up in the window.
It's the I changed the law, now I get to push this button.
Yeah, now I get to push this button, motherfuckers. And now it won't ask me every time I go to do a diagnostic on this thing. It's super advanced. You have never encountered a computer system like this. It knows the system is aware you have connected to something and that you are not supposed to be there, but it's not taking offense yet, it seems. But the system knows you're there. It actually, you see a very brief spatter of data showing number of pressure points in the room where people are standing, approximate weights, approximate heights for those people, that the droid has taken an impact of this many ergs, and it flashed that at you like it wanted you to know it's watching.
Shit.
That's not usually good. What is this? What's that supposed? What's going on?
Cecile, like, shuts her, like, anything that she thinks that she can shut off safely, like, right this second, she does. And does that thing, like, where you're supposed to go up to the outlet to unplug the wire, but, like, she does it, like, several feet back and just yanks that shit out of the port.
On the big
Which
black
hurts
and
her
green
soul, but...
Yeah. On the black and green screen, it says guest profile created. User Sasir.
Shit!
It read your computer.
Read it backwards.
Oh, fucking shit. Okay. Oh no. Alright. This is. I shouldn't have fucked with this.
Sorry,
Hi,
is
okay,
that
what do
bad?
you- I'm gonna need
What?
a complete sentence in there somewhere.
Well, shit fuck's a pretty good sentence right now. That knows who I am now.
Okay.
It's also watching to some degree. This is the most advanced thing I've ever seen. It knows we're here. It just spat out everyone's biological statistics at me. Heights, weights. It knows you kicked that thing. Like, it just points at the drone.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, green.
Oh, you went green again.
Green. Why am I green?
Lily
no
goes,
idea.
"Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you with moss."
So hold up. Hayden kind of walks over and peers at the screen. So this says guest on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Me?
so like you said this is the most advanced thing you've ever seen. And as far as I can tell, this is some kind of machine, right?
Yes.
Is this like a person now? Have we hit machine person? Is that where we're at?
Those do exist, but I don't think that's what she's getting at, says Carrie.
I mean, it
Duly
is
noted.
excruciatingly advanced. It's
Okay. So
it's
if
as
it's
close to autonomy as you're going to get, as far as I am
Alright.
concerned.
so
So
if
Not
it's
far off.
if it's kind of person-ish, right? It says guest profile, which means that's like an invitation, right? You don't make a guest, you don't have someone in your guest room unless you want them there. So
I-
maybe it's like a welcome mat.
You could want them there for tea, or you could want them there for a trap.
I think it is more noting, Carrie goes, I think it's more like it found a person in there, and in order to categorize them as a recognized thing, it gave them a profile.
Those are words, yes.
Is this thing a threat to us?
It is very smart. It already knows that we're here. It knows about us. It's picked me up from this, which that doesn't happen. It doesn't. And one of you has to understand that this thing has it
Learns.
it is linked to a satellite of some sort.
Wait, what?
It
What
has
is
to
a
send-
satellite? Like the moon?
Yeah, the moon is a satellite. Good point. Imagine a very small computer.
Okay, well,
that
you're losing me
someone-
rapidly.
Yes, that someone put up near the moon, and it hovers around the Earth, or I would say planetoid body, but in this case the Earth, repeatedly, But Earth is famous for actually having all of its satellites destroyed.
This is why I'm confused. It has global position.
Maybe the
it-
satellite is is there a moon?
There is
Above
the
question.
moon. Yes, there
Okay,
is a moon.
maybe the satellite is on the moon.
I hadn't thought of that.
Let's focus in on the here and now on it. So this thing is at least somewhat aware. It seems to know who we are. It seems to know who you are very specifically. That's a little troubling, I will admit. But like, you think it wants to kill us?
I don't know. It's gathering
Okay.
information at the very least. But I'm also a little concerned. I thought there were 3 keys. This is piece
Quick.
2 of who knows how many.
Quick out of character question, because I'm curious in the description of this. Did it sense Adelaide?
Oh, good point. It would have gotten fuzzy readings from Adelaide.
Okay.
So strictly speaking, I do have to. My cyberkinetic awareness is something I have to manually expand, which was my next course of action. But I was letting the conversation roll a little bit before I got into that.
Oh, never mind me. I was
So
just
no, totally
curious.
okay.
But it does note that there is some disparity in your data even at base level. But if you expand the field, it will stop collecting data on you.
As an action, the Cyber Knight can enhance his cyberkinetic combat abilities by stretching out his senses to understand all of the electronic technology he's engaged with. And then rules happen.
Yeah.
And then
You should do that, one player to another.
As an action, I do that.
All right, you don't become aware of things about the computer, but you do know it is collecting this data now. You don't machine meld with it.
No.
But it stops being able to pick you up as you do this. If that is what your power does, it will stop. It will respond as though.
So enemies within a distance of smarts ×2 are at a -2 on all trait rolls against the Cyber Knight where technology is involved. This includes notice checks and opposed rolls.
Yeah,
This ability lasts until the end of the encounter.
Let's take that through to its logical conclusion. Is it occasionally gets blips of you, but for the most part, your data is unreadable to it. It stops collecting accurate data on you.
Ugh. I mean, it's definitely looking at us. I can feel it looking at us. Okay, should we take the key out? Is this? Do we need to turn this thing off?
Gary, how do you feel?
I think we should take the key. I think this is an interesting. This is just one tiny piece.
There are many. And it doesn't seem to be one of those systems where any one terminal is the main one. Any one of them can be the main one.
Huh. I mean, if it's part of a network, that could be in mass use, measurably useful, as well as it has a global positioning circuit. That's
Question.
That could change entire militaries.
So, for what I'm gathering, I'm gonna pass on global for a second because that's on a scope that I don't quite get. But positioning, as in like it knows where it is.
Exactly where it is, down to the centimeter.
Great. Can we find out where the rest of it is from it?
Oh, good point.
When you say that out loud, it says network. The network offline flashes back on, and then it goes, "Please consult Charles Curtis Lee."
Okay. How do we tell it that
Apparently we just say it out loud.
Okay. Hey, what happens if Charles Lee is dead?
And then it says, "Please refer to the Charles Curtis Lee Endowment Fund."
Okay, well, now we know. Somewhere in the fund is something about this big old wonder machine. So,
My mouse says 110 minutes.
can we... Where was the last time you knew where any of you was?
Said the skeleton to the computer.
Yep.
Once again, network offline. No
All
signal.
right, well, unhelpful.
No two ports of this appear to have connected to. No port has appeared to connect to this machine.
Okay, when was the last time you were accessed?
It takes a minute, and it goes, and it lists about 2 weeks before the apocalypse.
Well, hey, nobody
So
has
it would
logged in from
be
here.
early December 2098.
What was
Well,
it? 20
so
what?
2098.
2098. So we're definitely the first ones in a while, so that means that probably no one else has found the keys, or if they did, they don't know what it is for. So,
And I suppose we can't really blame it. Cecilia said that this thing was only partially what it's supposed to be, so if it's operating at a reduced capacity, fair enough that it can't really talk to us. Okay, Charles Lee endowment. Fantastic. I turn towards
Well, they
it
go
was Lily that came down with us?
endowment.
I don't suppose that phrase means anything to you.
Oh, that's yeah, there was a big endowment in the building back in before the coming of the apocalypse to have this installed.
So
Uh
this
as well
thing
as a
then.
huge art exhibit, but nothing about keys in that.
Is that our exhibit still around?
Yeah, I can take you.
Show us.
All right. Uh she leads you back up. She goes, "Can you all make your way up the rope?" Some people have more trouble with that.
Yeah, climb a rope.
Everybody makes it up the rope. She
teleport.
magically floats, lightly floats, like a dandelion seed. She floats up to the top of it. And lets down gently. He's like, "Okay, come on." And she's like, "That was so cool. I didn't know robots could be interesting because the ones that I've met are so goddamn boring." You met them too. I take it.
Once
The
in the
library robot.
library,
Yes, so goddamn boring.
they're definitely of a one-track mind, that's for
They
sure.
do have immense amount of art books, which we've only
Oh.
stolen a few of. Borrowed a few of, I should say. All right, come this way. Come this way. Takes you back through a garden up to a kind of fourth floor greenhouse. And she says, "Well, it's the courtyard." And in the courtyard, you see people moving around and milling about. She's like, "Hey, everybody, sweep the courtyard." And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "Sweep the goddamn courtyard." I was like, "Why?" And there's like, "'Cause I asked you to, please." They're all like, "Oh, fine." And people start moving some of the dirt that has accumulated over years out of the way of this. People have made like sand castles in here for Christ's sake because they are weird artists. And they crumble up concrete to make sandcastles. Anyway, this is all moved out, and you see an immense mural that looks like a roughish map of the city with a couple of like kind of sunburst roughly where your where the library is, and then another one down by the stadiums at the other end of it, and then a burst across the little bit of river where the university city area is. And City Hall is a mosaic of a man hold an old it's the William Penn statue which sits on top of Philadelphia City Hall, except its head has kind of like a halo. The art museum has a little thing, and that's very close to the City Hall. And a couple other random spots, including one place kind of in northeast Philly, which is just looks to be, if you remember, it was just like used to be housing, but no one lived there anymore for the past 200 years. So it's kind of turned back to fields. And then there is one across the river in the New Jersey area.
Huh.
I guess we figured out where the nodes are.
I guess so. Okay. Well, um, we have a map now. Maps are good. Maps are great.
Um, I have a question for the game boss.
Yeah.
About the data that was reading back about everybody else.
Mhm.
Was it just very basic like height weight stuff, or did it know more like that's a cyber knight and that's a
Oh,
fae and that's a
it did
skelly
not.
man? Like just
It noted their heights and weights. There was a little exclamation point being like, "Hey, there's something a little off here." Like one of those little question marks in a circle that you can sometimes click on for more information.
yeah.
Except you couldn't click on it to get more information. But it did not describe any of them outside those two numbers.
Okay, and the question mark was on Adelaide.
It was on Adelaide. It was on
Oh.
Hayden,
Oh,
because Hayden weighs 30 pounds plus gear
Yep.
so
and is 5'11".
an anomaly. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
gotcha.
She goes, "Oh, do you want to go to these places? Because I actually know something about some of them. I mean, you've met the robots in the library, yes?
We did. We think they might have one of the other keys, actually. Kind of goofed the ball on that one. Not my finest hour, but
You could talk to them. They are, if nothing, reasonable and respect all people. I believe is just part of what they do.
well, now that I know that we're not necessarily stealing a key from them, I feel a little bit better about going in there and asking them for it. Because I mean, this thing's alive. It's kind of a person, and being in several pieces. That has to suck. That can't be a fun time. So
That was not that was not a person down there. I know what isn't a person. Many things you think might not be a person are a person. That was not a person.
okay. Well, regardless, uh,
But we've
aim for a
come to the
penny,
part
right?
where if you need more information, I will need something in return.
Anything you can share.
How about I tell you the payment before I give you my information, and you can agree to the payment or not?
That would make sense. Sirius looks at Adelaide like, so what is this worth?
The Fisher crew has been complaining. Something's fucking up their harvests. Something's eating a lot of fish in the river. They've asked us for help looking into it, but that's not our bag. I'm not a river fae. Like, I guess I could talk to a kelpie, but those things are assholes. They're not safe to have around kids. Um, they. So, but you're adventurers. You could go at least find out for us what's happening. And then we could. So the price would be. You find out what's reducing the number of fish in the Delaware River and help us solve it. Within reason, this will take no more than a week of your time.
You can't know that, but that's okay.
I will say
Well,
you
I'm
are not
actually
obligated to participate for more than a week of your time, is what I'm trying to say.
okay. Well, more to the point. Actually, my more concern here is I'm sorry. Do you have a lot of fae around here? Is that a common occurrence? Is that a regular thing for you? Because that's a weird thing to bring up apropos of absolutely nothing. And
Why would
suddenly
it
now
be?
I'm
I'm
just a
Fae.
touch. I'm sorry.
I'm Fae. You
You
travel
are.
with a Fae.
Well, that's complicated. Um,
Must I? It's not.
I just look at Rainier in confusion and back over at Lily and then back again.
I'm sorry, I missed something. I had to extract a cat from inside my computer. So
Go.
Let's see.
I heard she's Fae. That's
Yep.
what I
Yeah,
got.
Lily is a fae.
Yeah.
Lily is
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, when confronted with a giant talking cat person, I am, as someone who walks around with a raccoon person in her cadre, Adelaide is just always going to assume she's dealing with some manner of mutant or DB until proven otherwise.
Well, it's
Because the
Fae
are
are
rare.
DBs. So
I guess that's fair. It's a fair point. But they are a rare sort and not one commonly dealt with, so it's just
Well,
very much taken off guard here.
Fae tend to concentrate in certain areas. You've got the King of Prussia up there being a very proud of himself asshole. We don't love him here. He's very summer. We're more spring. We're on the same team, but that's why I put up signs all over the city. So if he kind of tries to encroach on the city, he'll encounter my
oh, those are
claims.
yours.
Yeah. In case he starts marching towards the sea or something, like he's fucking what is it? Some marching to the sea like Sherman? I don't know what that means, but someone said it once and it stuck in my brain for some reason. But yeah, if he comes marching through the city, he'll encounter my if he's trying to claim that territory, it's already technically claimed. I haven't felt the need. This is more of a defensive, anyway, you don't care about most of you don't care about that, I should say.
I don't know if you know this, but he's terrified of the Fae he works with.
Oh, he should be. Summer is quite cruel sometimes.
It's just Brenier's face, just like, tell me about it.
But his caseworkers won't bother me. But I don't have the people to send on adventures to go explore what's eating fish. The Fisher clan, the Fisher crew are part of the community, kind of. They're off on the river. A lot of ATVs over there. But we party together sometimes, and they trade us fish for food, for vegetables and shit. And since they have less fish, we don't want to give them less vegetables because we don't hate them.
All of which is fascinating. Could you just excuse us just for every group huddle over here? Could we just get 1 second, please?
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep. What's up?
Sure.
Rainier,
Mm-hmm.
we trust this person? That's a long pause. It makes me very nervous.
This is partially Riley thinking about
Oh, okay.
exactly how Rainier would go about this. Because this is
Gotcha.
they're only part Fae, you said? She's only part Fae?
She is more Fae than you.
Okay.
She's saying that the King of Prussia had a case manager that wouldn't fuck with her, puts her in the straight up magic creature territory.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's okay. The other thing is she hasn't tried to get anyone to promise anything or do anything, and hasn't extracted any prices for anything that you've seen. You haven't seen any trickery.
Mm-hmm.
So judge that how you will. I mean, you're still you, but you've seen
But this
Fae
is one
that
of those, if we make a solid agreement, she has to stick by it.
You do note that she said you won't be obligated to assist for more than a week. Whereas some Fae would be like, you're here until this job is done and as I define it by done.
Okay.
But that is a firm deadline on that. Which is
As long as you
useful.
clarify the terms, I don't see why not.
No, as long as you clarify the terms. Listen, I know when I should be seeking legal representation, and this is one of those times where I am way out of my depth. But if you think we can trust this person and do this work in good faith, in good faith for them, and come back and get the information we're looking for,
Oh, she will.
I trust you.
She'll be bound by her word if you make a deal with her.
Then
It's
unless
about
anybody else,
making sure there's no loophole. So,
And
just
that-
kind of like... She may not be as bad. See. And, Rainier will actually, like, go over the terms with her of, like, the 1 week, 7 days on Earth in this dimension.
Yes, if
No
as
more,
long as
no
it doesn't
less.
take, if you go off of this dimension as part of it, the contract can be adjusted to better suit you. If you go off of this dimension, you have no obligations outside of Earth in this
Okay.
contract. She's like, listen, if you fall through a time hole, I don't care. You're not going to be able to get the job done anyway. So don't go through a time hole. If you see a time hole, come back and let us know, and we'll rework the terms. But I'm not gonna make you guarantee to work for me on the other side of the universe. Yeah, I don't need that.
And just, like, kind of hammer out all the details in good faith.
Yeah,
My brain is not going to try to do that
it's okay.
fully.
Do you have a social role or a parlay kind of thing? Like a persuasion, maybe.
I do have a persuasion roll.
All right, make that roll.
Okay. Then 11.
That's 11. I'm gonna roll for her. I don't have a. I'll roll this d20, and if it comes above 10, I'll just. All right, that is. Yeah, she's not trying to get anything over. It seems she is making a deal in good faith. Transitional Fae tend to be less tricksy because they have less like hard opinions. And your terms are pretty clear. She will give you a bunch of information about who is where in the city if you go and take care of this problem for us.
Okay.
This you don't it will she's like, I don't expect it to take more than a day. I'm just giving you a week in case it gets more complicated.
Oh. That seems fair. Just kind of like rolls a shoulder and it's just like, they're understandably concerned about things. Though then again, they've been dealing with me rather than you, so.
Yes, I see that. I see that.
And just turns to Adelaide and goes, well, the terms are set.
So I will actually give you some information upfront as payment. Down by the stadiums is a swamp. It's ruled by the old orange one.
Oh no.
Avoid it if you can, but if your investigation takes you there, tread carefully.
okay.
Across the river is New Jersey. I've never seen a Shamarian in New Jersey. But there are Lenape over there occasionally. We have seen slavers come, or Splugors try to come across the river from there, which we've beat back, but not for about 30 years. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The fisher people are very nice, for the most part. They talk big.
Fish
You've already met the
stories.
robots.
I get it. As I lose my voice, please stand by. Eh. Somebody else talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, is there any other let's see, I'm trying to think of areas this will obviously
Wowza.
take you. So the river goes down past kind of between New Jersey and Pennsylvania, or between New Jersey and Philly, and then goes down out and becomes brackish by the ocean. So you probably don't go in the ocean because then there are the dream boats, which you want to avoid at all costs because they work for the Splugorth. And when I say dream boats, I mean boats created in dreams and used to harm people, not adorable teen idols.
Dreamboats.
The Nuatu,
Okay.
I believe they're called. I just had never dealt with them.
New one on me. Okay. So where do we gotta go to find these fish people?
Oh, they're just people.
Fishing people.
The fishing crew, you just head straight out east over to
East.
the river. You'll find them on the
Yes,
river.
sir.
Spot the boats, wave them over. They
Yes.
I'm not sure if they'll run away from you as a default.
It's fine. We are very charming, approachable people
Is-
with winning smiles.
Is there a token we
pun-
can give them that would show that we're dealing with you in good faith?
Oh,
Oh,
that's-
sure.
Yeah.
She reaches into the wall and pulls out one of the mosaic flowers as though she was pulling it out of Play-Doh. And it's a mosaic lily. And she's like, if you just show them to this will be a good denotation of my mark. And
Just
hands
smiles
it
at
to
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Why are we smiling? Smiling makes me very nervous.
Well, you asked me for my expertise. I'm
And
exercising it.
this agreement does not supplant or supersede any agreements you may have already made. Blah 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 blah. blah.
I'll just take the damn flower. It's fine. Well, we have a flower and a winning smile. What could possibly go wrong? Unless anybody else has any other business here, we'll be underway then.
All right, you're more than welcome to stay at the hotels. We don't really have people sleep here except for the main staff. So,
well-
but when we get this all done, we'll have a great party.
I don't doubt it. Thank you.
That I look forward to.
Right. All right. Bye.
Hmm. Is that a knowing humph? Is that a worried humph?
It's just
That
been
humph seems like a loaded gun.
it's just been a bit. The King
Since-
of Prussia threw a lot of weight around for someone who did not have a lot of weight to throw around. Metaphorically, of course, because he was rather large. He was speaking with someone else's words. That was interesting. Just been a bit.
Since you spoke to someone like that?
Not really since I've started assisting Adelaide. Not since home.
I'm glad we're not assisting and not working for anymore. That relationship was really making me uncomfortable.
You've never aren't you a soldier? You never had subordinates?
Knight, and no, it's complicated. Let's stay on the topic here.
Not that I consider myself subordinate to you, I'm just saying subordinates would technically work for you. Anyway,
That's good.
it's interesting and it was oddly nice. I never thought I would enjoy talking to a string that much.
As you leave the Magic Gardens, you cross back over the threshold. And Hayden, you hear psst coming from one of the nearby alleyways.
Look over.
You see peeking out of it a little imp that's just like,
Is this the same imp from fucking New Jersey, or is this a different imp from New
this
Jersey?
is Maris the imp.
God fucking damn it. Okay. Yeah, Hayden will be like, yeah, give me a second. You keep going, I'll catch up. And he just kind of meanders towards the
course.
alley. Hell do you want?
Oh, I hate you, so I bring news.
You know, no, that checks out. Yeah. What?
They're still alive. And he's still alive. And they know he's still alive. And now they know you're alive. And Stone still thinks they're dead. For now.
Okay. Great. Is
Stone
you good?
starting to have doubts about you being dead.
Well, is you have anything else you want to dump on me while you've got it?
You've been invited home. Requested.
Yeah, I know.
They
I
need you,
saw.
they say. And, then you'll be away. Would this make you sad?
Hayden takes a minute just kind of like stares at the imp thoughtfully and goes, "Unfortunately, yeah. Because when I'm sad, I get spiteful."
Oh, it's less fun than I wanted.
And he binds Maris again.
All right. You redo the binding, and Maris
Yeah.
goes, "Fine, I will tell you what portal you should use, but I don't want to go with you."
Oh, you don't have to go with me. I've got a job for you now, because I think part of this fun for you is with me gone. You don't have to worry about me interrupting your fun. So here's what we're going to do. Until I come back, and I will, Maris doesn't get to have any fun.
How do you know not having any fun is not part of how Maris has fun?
You wouldn't be here giving me shitty news if that was part of your fun, now was it?
Maris
And you
is
know
br-
what?
Maris is brat.
Yeah, well, then you can continue on having a good fun doing nothing, and we'll see how long that lasts. And he lets that stick.
Mm.
Have a
Maris
cup of tea.
continues to do nothing.
Have a cup of tea somewhere. Enjoy yourself. For that moment only.
I
Toodle.
have to roll. I have
And
to roll an
Hayden.
intelligence check. Where's my d6? 1. Okay.
Great.
Fantastic.
Have a good one, Maris. I'll see you later.
You know exactly where the nearest interdimensional portal is.
Yep. Yeah. So Hayden will walk back and go, all right, so here's
Also, know
the
one other thing.
Oh, okay.
Magically,
Mm-hmm.
you can go home.
Yep.
Others
It's
will
trickier.
suffer what is called dimensional resistance in this case.
I don't want to become a
Yeah.
skeleton.
You might not become a skeleton, you just might become a bunch of strings that used to be in the shape of a person.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Hayden will kind of wander back and just go, okay, so hey, y'all, this is not a really great way to say this, and I wanted to say that hunting things in the river with y'all sounded like a lot of fun.
But
But I've gotta go.
Have anything to do with the magic coin?
Yeah, it does.
So what?
come a who now?
Hayden sort of takes it out and sort of runs it across the bones of his hand and goes, "This, I kind of explained this to Rainier last night, but when I go back to a place like that, I get the feeling that who I was spent a lot of time in those kinds of places. My memory is kind of fuzzy, you see. And in those places, I can spend some time and kind of jog the memory a little bit, get a better sense of who I was beforehand. And this time around, I remembered at least one person, maybe two, and when they flicked a coin at me, the one they rolled amongst their fingers like I just did, the coin ended up with me. So,
It is an gold Abraham Lincoln dollar.
yeah. So something's calling me home.
See.
To the before time?
The sideways before times, if I'm starting to understand this correctly, I think.
Hayden,
the-
do you need help?
We
I
cut
think
to a
I'll be
flashback
okay.
in your
Oh, yep.
memory of
Yeah.
a man who is incredibly tall and gaunt. He's clearly dead. With it wearing a top hat, a duster covered in sheriff's badges, that some of which have bullet holes in them, as though they are trophies, and 2 pistols, walking down a street, looking directly at Hayden, and sneering, half his zombified face missing. And Hayden remembers that all of a sudden, with the name Stone attached to it.
I think I'll be okay. frankly, trying to get you two home is going to be a lot of work. So, and it might not end up too well for at least two of you. Rennie here probably could make the jump, but it sounds like y'all have some business to attend to on your own. So, yeah, I'll manage. I think it'll be all right.
Will you be able to come back?
I mean, I made it here the first time, so I don't see why not. If I can remember what the coordinates are for it.
Oh, you could use
Yeah.
some kind of anchoring.
Yeah.
It would.
You know what? Hold on. Hayden, where did I put that? And then
I
reaches
think
out.
you already gave it to her. Or I gave it to him. So,
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, there's that. But also, when Hayden reaches in, pulls out the compact and goes, "Hey, I don't know if this is going to make the trip, and I kind of got it here, so I'd like to leave it here. So when one of you can take this," and he sort of, I guess, hands whoever is nearest the compact with the elemental in it, and just goes, "Well, and
Who reaches for
yeah."
it?
Hmm?
Who reaches for the compact?
I'll take it.
Sincere, it doesn't exactly burn your hand, but it's real hot.
Wearing gloves, right?
Even through the gloves, you could feel.
Yeah.
Gee.
But I think I've got a link here, and Hayden kind of points a bony finger in the direction of that place that Rainier held their hand over the last time. Just goes, I think I can find my way back to that pretty easily.
Well, I can't say I fully understand the size of the trouble facing you down, friend, but it has been good to know you, strange though the circumstances may be.
Yeah.
Whatever you're dealing with, good luck.
Sorry about the horse at first blush. That would seem
Wow.
don't you don't have to explain, but I wanted to apologize for the upset it might have caused.
Buttermilk, just like I think all of us, takes a little getting used to, but once you get to know her, like anyone who's full of bones, we all have bones, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, what are we all if not bones? That sounded way better in my head. Good luck.
I see where you're going.
Harry goes, "Do you do hugs?"
I mean, yes, there's not a lot of me to hug and or hug back, but yes.
I do hugs as well. Would you like a hug?
Sure. And Hayden,
Harry runs over
Gives
and
him a
gives you a
hug.
nice hug.
cute.
He goes, "I'll see you soon."
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Rainier, Cesar, pleasure. Don't get into too much trouble with your family, I guess. And try to eat nice trash. Like, have some class. For you, you know?
As a treat.
You're worth more than bad trash.
Yeah.
You're worth good trash.
Sister just runs up and hugs Hayden and is just like, thank you. And thank you for the pant meat. It was very good.
Oh, I'm glad someone got use out of it because I sure as hell wasn't.
She backs up.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go. There's a door I know about, so best of
Oh, well.
luck. I'll see y'all
Safe
sometime
travels,
around.
Cowpoke.
Yeah, same to you, Knight.
You head up to 11th and Arch, where you
Yeah.
find a magic portal on a ley line that is currently on a nexus. You activate it using your abilities. And there's a brief cloud of some kind of fiendish mist that dissipates very quickly. And then you smell the dust. You smell home.
Somehow it smells better over here. And Hayden will take a step through the arch and close it up behind him.
Right. And the rest of you gather your stuff. Take a moment and you start headed off towards the Fisher crew. And that's where we're gonna leave it.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for joining us, Ramos. It's been super fun.
It's super fun to be here. It's a lot of fun. I played a
Yeah.
Boney Lad for like a couple weeks. It was great.
It's all you ever want.
And a good bone friend.
To be a bony friend with pants me.
Peak of my
Uh,
career, truly.
But I'm sure we'll see you again sometime soon. So,
Oh yeah.
thank you again for joining us. All right. So, everybody, go around. Does anyone have anything they'd like to plug? I'm just going to start asking that now. All right. So,
Say we have our finale for Final Fantasy 14 on Devil's Luck this weekend. Be
Hell
finishing that up.
hooray! Enjoy. And then make sure to watch their streams as well during the week as they do them. So, join us in the Discord to keep more coverage of that, to keep up to date with what's happening.
Yeah.
And you can follow us at our various social media places. Remember, I'm not on Twitter, I'm on Tumblr, and I don't check that often either.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm technically on Twitter, but I haven't been tweeting for like 2 months, and I'm probably going to continue that.
That's probably
don't-
Sounds like a
smart.
good trend.
I have nothing to tweet about. This is it. This is the only place you can find me right now, folks.
Hooray! All right.
I ain't nowhere else no more.
We will catch you soon. And
I'm gonna hold on. We're gonna go
we're gonna look up a
raid.
raid.
Yeah, do some
Abaris
raids.
Works, who's a very good friend of mine. He's actually in my wedding. So he just set up his VTuber on his channel in the last like month or so. So go over and give him a. He's playing League of Legends. Don't hold that against him.
It's okay. I'm also an addict.
League. Sit over here with my grand total of 100 hours in Dota and smugly look down on you.
I see.
Oh no.
That's the
Yes.
only one I
See-
haven't played. I've played all the other ones. I have not played Dota. We've done
You like
Heroes of the
things with
Storm. We've done
less
League.
chat
We've
and more
done
broken.
Smite. But
I met the fandom before I met the game, so I haven't played it all.
I mean,
Good call.
honestly, fair, yeah.
that's a good way to get deterred from everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cat.
Yep. 1000%.
Alrighty. Thank you guys.
See you soon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.